product is incredible. Mom will love it. Aura's got a great deal for Mother's Day, too. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's AURAframes.com. Promo code ROAM. Support the station by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens here to remind you to download the Odyssey app so you can listen to 96.5 wherever you are right from your phone. You have the option to listen live or listen on demand throughout the day at your convenience. Plus, if you're in the Kansas City area, you can listen to Vern's On Deck show, postgame show, and the play-by-play of all 162 Royals games right from your phone or desktop. Download the free Odyssey app today and follow your favorite teams and shows. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
To the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Man, you weren't lying yesterday when Jay Binkley spent 10 minutes on Mountain Dew because I'm reading the text line from 12 hours ago. Bink, did you know Mountain Dew was originally made to be a chaser for liquor?
It was? Really?
Says, Mountain Dew will rot your blank off.
Yeah, it will. Yep.
It rhymes with never mind. Yeah. So, because he was talking to us about it, Binkley, crashed our post-production meeting yesterday to let us know about random stats.
Yeah, he was here 7 hours before he needed to be on air yesterday. I'm sure he's going to get rolling in right about now because he's doing the show again this afternoon. So,
I hope.
And
it's an early off.
It is today. Yeah, they play in Baltimore this weekend. So you got, a 5 o'clock start for Vern today. And so Binkley's off after only a couple hours today. I'm sure he'll have some Mountain Dew conversation. Today is actually a big day on the Jay Binkley calendar. I don't know if you know this or not. Today is National Lunch Hero Day, where you're supposed to salute all the lunch ladies at school. And, that's who Binkley was friends with in high school. We were all the lunch ladies, of course, because they give him a little extra on the ravioli, a little extra on the manicotti, a little extra on the taco bar, a little extra government cheese, maybe right there.
Manicotti at high school?
We had that. Yeah, that was a staple. Okay. That was a staple of high school. It was awful. And since then, I've never eaten manicotti and won't eat manicotti ever again. I mean, it's just noodles rolled in that ricotta cheese, but it was always never any good from
made them extra
cafeteria.
Sloppy.
Yeah, right, exactly. Extra sloppy.
You're scaring us.
I was going to tell Mac to pull that, but Spectre doesn't let us play real music, so we can't play Lunch Lady Land from Adam Sandler, I don't think, but we can sing it if you want us to. So that can be 10 to 2. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joes. That's what Binkley's like, extra sloppy on top and whatnot. So salute your lunch lady today. If you're going to school, make sure you pull over and say thank you, Rita, for going out there and scratching that mole and giving us some extra cheese on our hot dog today.
Her first name's Marg. Margarita.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember, I'm trying to think, lunch ladies. We had one. So, in our high school at Blue Springs, you could go through, the standard lunch, which was always, hit or miss. You always went on chicken nugget day or whatever. And then there was, the spoiled side where there's, chicken strips, spicy chicken sandwiches, Bosco sticks.
Oh, Bosco sticks were goated.
Insane.
Yes.
That's the thing that they buy, and that's it right now. Kids bring their lunch now. There's microwaves all over the school,
really?
Apparently. We never had a microwave in school where you could warm up your lunch. They're bringing gourmet meals to school these days.
I feel like that trend started either my senior year or slightly after. Because if you were a teacher's aide, certain teachers were known to have a microwave.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was an aide for Miss Senorita Buchanan, one of the best people in the world. Beautiful lady. How you doing? She would go to lunch, but she'd have Tupperware. She's like, I'm going to go over to so-and-so's room and heat up my lunch. I'm like, okay, see you later. I'm going to just sit here, I guess. And then I would go wander the hallways. But a lot of people would do that. From what I heard, is you bring leftovers and use a microwave.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, all the time now.
Just make a sandwich and take chips.
Absolutely.
And wrap a soda in aluminum foil.
Yeah, right. And if you put the ice on your sandwich, then your bread may be a little wet. It was always awful, and you didn't know if the dog peed on it or not. So, so that was the deal.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich and just bleeding through the bread.
Yeah, bleeding through the bread. Yeah, you smack it on your face and wave the Christy Brinkley and enjoy your day. But I mean, it to me, it's just it's just changed so much from from the old school lunch days, man. It was like tuna fish, hot dog, and peanut butter and jelly, and that
Never
was
had tuna fish.
and then you had your special. One day it was pizza, then there was chicken nuggets. One day it was this, one day it was that. Tuna was always fine. I mean, it was whatever.
That's a tough
you're there and whatever. You ate it back
school,
then, right?
yeah.
School
You
lunch,
just- yeah,
right?
exactly.
Everything was government cheese, government peanut butter, and government tuna. And now I guess they have gourmet meals at the cafeteria, and they're still bringing their own lunch to school. I hope nobody brings fish.
I had a lunch lady who was also a crossing guard at Leawood Elementary. And her name was Mrs. Oldie. And she was so
Oldie?
sweet. Mrs.
Yeah,
Oldie.
she hot?
She was not. She
I
was
wouldn't
old.
think.
Okay, Mrs. Oldie, is she still around?
Probably not. It's okay.
So she crossing guard after school, then lunch lady during school.
Lunch lady
Love
during
that.
school,
That's
absolutely.
a great role. The crossing guard thing is interesting to me because I don't think that they have enough crossing guards. Because I look at my kids' school, some days the crossing guard is there, and some days there's no crossing guard there.
I'm
And
sure.
so I don't know what they pay, to do that job, but hell, for 2 hours I may stand out there with a stop sign. What do I care, right? And she parks on like everybody's front lawn too when she is there because she's the crossing guard. So she parks up on the sidewalk.
Can't tell me what to do.
That's right. I'm the crossing guard lady. I got a stop sign.
We had a lady that would do taco salads, and it was just literally chili, nacho cheese, and then lettuce sour cream.
That's it.
Nice.
And that was all it was.
Heck
And
yeah.
She'd have the little ladle of cheese, and she'd always
Wait, did you say tomato?
you could, I guess.
You could, but the kids
Yeah.
aren't eating tomato.
No, we just put chili, then
Yeah.
you put like the fake nacho cheese, and she'd always say, "A little more?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Yes, please."
please.
She's
Yeah.
like, "Thank you for being kind." And I would just walk off, and I'd just eat slop.
Yeah, it was great.
You know,
it
but
was
it was-
fantastic. It's a taco
Yeah.
salad, but the lunch ladies are the people you need to be the nicest to. They will take care of you at the end of the
Yeah.
day. The lunch ladies, the janitors,
Oh, yeah.
all those folks who are the behind-the-scenes people,
Nice.
if you will, at the school. Make sure you thank them today, especially the lunch ladies who are out there slinging hash for
And the
everybody.
janitors.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. The janitors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the janitors were like our best friends because we played at the school all the time, and balls would go on the roof because we lived across the street from the school. So you'd butter up Chet, and he'd go up there, and that was his name, Chet Puco. He'd go up there on the roof, and he'd get the balls. And we finally figured out how to get up on the roof, or we
do it
didn't need
yourself.
Chet if it was on a Saturday. You went up on the freezer. There were these like
Rungs.
long barricades, like they were made out of like telephone pole wood, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And they so you couldn't drive into
So
the
wood.
Yeah, but it was like telephone poles, like big poles, right? I'm trying to explain what
Ryan
they look
poles.
like, right? Like these big pieces of wood, so you could get up on top and stand on
Yeah.
them. And then the ice box thing, big walk-in, had like a little tiny pipe off the back. You get 1 foot up on that, you were up on top of the
my
on
gosh.
top of the walk-in freezer, and then you could get onto the roof. And so we would eventually figure out how to do that. We didn't need them as much, but I mean, we played ball there all the time, and tennis balls would be on the roof, all kinds of stuff that we were doing, always on the roof. You butter up the janitor, they're taking care of everything for you.
We always tried to go up to the roof, but our janitor, Bill, that was his name, he wouldn't let us go up there because one time we went up there, we could have sworn there was like a dead skunk, but we couldn't find it. And he's like, "I'll get up there and find it." We knew it was up there. Like, all right.
Bill's like, "I'll take care of it."
Yeah. So we get down. I was like, "It smells like a skunk's up there, Bill." We couldn't find it though. He's like, "Oh, let me get up there real quick.
Yeah,
I'll smoke it out.
Yeah.
It'll show itself. Be ready when it comes back down."
But like those janitors, man, I tell you what, they were cleaning up puke and all that kind of stuff for the kids and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that is a selfless job right there, man. So thank the janitors and the lunch ladies and all those important people. But the janitors, they knew where all the bodies were buried, man. If you needed anything, you went down to the custodian and they took care of it, man. Hey, I need some help here, okay? And I need to burn a dart, and all the teachers would start smoking in the janitor's room back in the day.
Oh yeah. Did you peep the blinds last night?
I did. I watched some basketball last. I didn't even turn baseball on last night. Well, the Yankees weren't playing, the Royals weren't playing.
Gotcha.
There's really no reason to. So went out to a nice, lovely meal with my wife.
Nice.
Last night. Got home about the second quarter of that game, and I was pretty much locked in the entire time.
go.
And
a great game.
You
Great game.
just it was a fantastic game. And now what we have is the Celtics and Knicks, which is great. And if you're not an
Yes.
NBA fan,
Let's go.
which I am not, this is one, like, even if you're not an NBA fan, this is a sports series you watch.
Yes.
I mean, this is old school type stuff. This is the first time since 1984, and Lionel Richie
Yep.
was dancing on the ceiling, that these two teams have played outside of the first round of the playoffs. My
Dodgers,
God.
Giants.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But to a different extent. Like, have the Dodgers and Giants ever played in the postseason in our lifetime? Have they? I can't remember. Like 88,
Well,
maybe
Giants
they did.
won
or-
like 3 World Series.
but did they play the Dodgers?
I
in
bet
that?
at least once.
I don't know if they did or not. I don't remember the last time. Look that
Bobby
up.
Thompson hit a home run.
That, I mean, like that. I'm not joking. Like, I don't know that. When was the last time
The Dodgers and Giants faced each other in 2021 NL Division Series. Dodgers won 3-2.
Okay, so they did recently. But when was the last time before that?
Yeah. And then before that.
Yeah. Like,
and
I feel like 88. Did they play in 88? No, they couldn't have because the playoffs weren't that long in 1988. They were just.
Was that Gibson's year off of Eckersley?
Yeah. I'm trying to think who the Dodgers beat. Oh, they beat the Mets that year in the NLCS and went on to the World Series.
Hell of a run in the late 80s.
Well, they did, and if it wasn't for the cocaine, the Mets and Giants, the football Giants, probably would have had a lot more championships than they did. The cocaine ruined, Strawberry and Gooden and Lawrence Taylor and all those guys.
Enhanced the Dallas Cowboys.
It really did. They did a nice job with it. Yeah.
They had never faced each other in the postseason until 2021.
So that's the only time. Okay. I knew there was something there,
131-year history of rivalry, not until 2021. That's crazy.
And that's the only and last time that they faced off in the postseason. That
almost
is
to a point where no one saw it.
I don't remember that series.
2021 was still kind of COVID-ish?
It was afterwards,
Yeah.
they were selling every other seat, I think, at that point in time, and we were still wearing masks and whatnot.
But anyways, you're locked into this series
Yeah,
now.
this one is big now, because it matters, and it it's the postseason, and it's a historic rivalry, and I think it's a good national rivalry. You can get behind Boston versus New York. You can hate one city, you don't like the other.
You can hate them both and
you can hate them both and enjoy it. Yeah,
watch.
absolutely, and just watch, basketball and what. This is not a basketball series. This is I think this is more of a pop culture series, if you will, because of how big both of these teams are. And I'm thinking about it again last night. I'm not a basketball fan, and I was a fringe Knicks fan growing up, but there's just something special about the Knicks winning in the NBA, and it just makes things better. Brunson hit that shot, I jumped out of my seat, I'm outside, and I'm yelling, yes! And I'm texting my buddy.
Not a basketball fan.
Not a basketball fan.
Not a basketball fan.
But it's the moment, it's the greatness, and this is why we need more things like this in sports that matter, like the Masters, right? I'm not a golf fan, but hell, we're all cheering for Rory that day, right? And who's watched golf since, Mac? I know you have. Mac, have you?
One time, I did.
One time at band camp? Does he even get that reference? I don't
Sure
know.
he does.
You do?
I think so, yeah.
You've seen American Pie, haven't you?
Yeah, American Pie.
Oh, you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
seen American Pie?
Yeah,
I didn't know if you did.
Do you know
watched
what
it
she does with the flute?
No, I watched I was watching it.
So he hasn't seen American Pie.
I was watching in formative years. I was looking at it.
I was saying, because I've dropped the "we'll just tell your mother we made it all" line 4 or 5 times, and
Yeah, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, no.
You don't get that.
Well,
We'll
you
just
know
tell
what?
your mother we ate it.
we are in May.
You better watch
it's
American
American
Pie.
Pie.
Watch
Okay.
American Pie this weekend.
Yeah, watch American Pie this weekend, please.
Definitely watch it with your fiance.
Yeah. I guarantee you she hasn't seen it.
And then you'll know who Jennifer Coolidge is now.
Now you'll know,
Yes.
and now you'll get the connection and why they have to basically say her name is Jennifer Coolidge, because nobody knows who that is other than
think she's-
Stifler's mother.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing the audio recordings of it, hi, this is Jennifer Coolidge, because literally nobody knows who she is. and then White Lotus has come on, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And then you'll really relate to Paul Finch, because you remind me of Paul Finch.
I think he looks
No,
like him too.
oh,
No, he does. No, I think that's right.
You're
Yeah.
watch it like, this geek?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
The guy that has to
He'll be
leave school
pissed
to
off.
take dumps?
Yeah. No, that is true. Yeah, Mac. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. But he
man.
also hooked up with Stifler's mom. So I
That
mean
he did.
that is
That he did.
I mean that is a big time win. Did you ever hook up with your friend's mother?
No, not yet.
Me neither.
Not yet.
But I'm working on it.
Man, that's a really good threesome. Well, you are of that age now, Dusty. It's no longer about the sisters of your friends. It's now about your divorced mother friends. I mean, seriously, you see the pendulum swing back to where...
You think I'm really trying to work out at Legacy on a Saturday at 10?
No.
Hey, I think your kid's soccer ball rolled over here.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
nice.
But I've noticed the pendulum swinging where it's like you're it's like, oh, older sisters or whatever, and now it's like, hey, mom, MILF, hey, how you doing? Right? Like, I mean, you can see the whole pendulum swing. I think it's about when you right about your age, you start to notice the other moms, and you're like, oh, look at that woman walking into school with their
Yeah, because
child.
now the other ones are like, ew, you're old. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, see, you're in that kind of phase right now. Like you're a creeper at the bar, but you're also a little bit too young for the divorced moms.
I don't know if I'm a creeper at the bar.
How you doing, ladies? Dude, you could be like our older uncle, man. Like, it's time for you to move on. All right.
I know that I'm hard. Yeah, and apparently still a frat boy.
How about Jalen Brunson, though, with that shot last night, man? Talk about the size of the stones on that dude for hitting that shot with 4 seconds left, in that game. Knicks wanted to give that thing away. But like I said, I'm not a huge basketball fan, and I know I'm talking to a lot of people who aren't huge basketball fans. Do yourself a favor and get invested in the Knicks and Celtics. It may be a quick series. The Knicks got their ass kicked all regular season. But again, that doesn't matter because these guys don't try in the regular season. And then the playoffs start. That's, again, why we need more of these type of events. How can we do more of USA versus the world or, stuff that matters and get more of these meaningful games because, it's fun for the fans when the players are invested in it. And I think that's why I was so captivated kind of in this game last night is because the players wanted it so bad. And it's fun to see the players actually go out there and want it as much as the fans do.
Brunson takes a peek at the clock. Thompson digging in defensively. 8 seconds. Brunson stops on a dime. Launches. Oh, yeah! Jalen Brunson buries it. Knicks lead by 3. The Brunson burner ignited.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Heartland Men's Health want you to have a great weekend, a great life, and a great time. And we know that if you're suffering from ED, it is a terrible condition. It causes so many stresses in relationships. It causes anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. Well, Heartland Men's Health is here to change all of that because they have treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. At Heartland Men's Health, they have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men right here in Kansas City. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex today after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Get ready for summer's heat with a $69 AC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our expert technicians will make sure your system is working at peak efficiency to help you save money on energy costs. At Hamilton, we know how important your family's comfort is. Our exceptional service guarantee, plus over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, are great reasons to trust Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Visit callhamilton.com for detailed terms and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, aka only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at shaneco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In the moments that matter most, you show up. You protect, you serve, you heal, you care. Now, let Reiselman Nissan show up for you with our Hero Appreciation Program. Kansas City's heroes get special discounts every single day. Choose from over 160 new Nissans with Kicks, Sentras, and Altimas starting as low as $399 a month, because honoring you is our privilege. Visit ReiselmanNissan.com. Every customer, every time. Reiselman Nissan.
Not all vehicles may apply. See dealer or check ReiselmanNissan.com for all details.
The grass patch hound flowers. I'm talking redbuds, dogwoods, begonias, lilacs, marigolds, pansies, impatient daisies, and mom's not the word. Come on down to the grass patch high on grass. Come on down to the grass patch high on grass. We'll roll out the turf for you.
Robsite Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsite.com.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Robsite Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Robsite Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Real quick, lunch ladies, janitors, /custodians, and bus drivers. We had a text on the text line. Don't forget about the bus drivers either.
Well, it isn't National Bus Driver Day. It is National Lunch Lady Day, right? And are there many bus drivers anymore out there? Because, boy, it sure seems like every time you need a bus now, it's like, I'm not driving it. They don't pay enough, and I'm not putting up with the BS of the children. So
I could ever think about doing it as a part-time job in the afternoons.
You could. I mean, I think you get like $20 an hour is what they're paying.
Do you think parents would like it if I was the bus driver?
I don't think parents would care. I mean, they just want people to drive the bus and be reliable.
Why is
because
the child driving the bus?
Really, since COVID, it hasn't been a reliable service for anybody out there. You know, sometimes the bus comes, sometimes it doesn't. We just gave up on using the bus service because you couldn't rely on it. Half the time you're like, all right, I got to take the kids to school because the bus isn't here, because they don't pay these people enough to drive the bus and take the abuse from the damn kids on the bus and the parents. So
speaking of bus drivers.
Fastball bashed high in the air, deep to the right field corner. Meisner turns around. It's gone. An opposite field shot down the right field line. A 2-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr. And that puts the Royals in front 3-1 in the top of the 5th inning.
Wearing gray slacks with a blue stripe and a gray top that said Kansas City across the front. Bobby Witt Jr., what is that, 3rd home run of the season now for Bobby Witt Jr.? Gosh. Right. I mean, that was a beautiful one yesterday. That pretty much put the game away early for the boys in blue. And I mean, they're rolling along right now. I did the numbers. They were 8-14 on my birthday, April 19th. They're 9-1 since. 9-1 since April 19th, baby. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that they lose 6 in a row and then immediately go win 9 of 10.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Yep. Obviously, tweet that and then somebody goes, yeah, well, they haven't really played the best of teams.
Who cares?
Said, sorry, man.
Why do people do that? Like, why do people find like joy in saying stuff like that? Because to me, you know what? You play the teams that are on your schedule. It doesn't matter who they are. You win games, you lose games. It's going to happen. Never, ever, ever, ever take a baseball game, hockey game, football game win for granted because they're so hard to come by with what these guys put in every single day and the effort that they put in to try to go out there and win. Poo-pooing winning at the highest level is one of the more ridiculous things that I've seen a fan do. And we see it a lot because you're right, Dusty, and it just really ticks me off. This is a Major League Baseball team you're playing against. You're going out there and dealing. The Royals starters since April 20th, 2.14 ERA as a staff. 4 of their starters, Lorenzen, Lugo, Waka, and Bubic, have a 1.66 ERA in that time. Stop trying to say it's against bad opponents. They're going out there and they're doing work. Did they look good against the Yankees? No, but no one has looked good against the Yankees this year. So don't come at me with, they're not playing the best of competition. That's just a stupid text.
Yeah, it was a tweet.
Whatever.
Same thing. It was a text. Same thing. But yeah, no, I look at it and I think to myself, I'm like, okay, let me put some logic into this. When they played the Rays, they were 15-15. It's not a bad team. I guess Houston's considered bad, and you won 3 of 4 from Houston.
Right.
I mean, I look at the standings, and Houston is 16-14.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good ball team.
Yeah, about 500. Yeah.
Sorry that everybody's beating Colorado, and we just kept the trend alive.
Right.
And now you go on to Baltimore, who is a team in shambles, last place in the East. They're 12-18. Right. I'll give you Baltimore's not a good team.
They're not a good team right now.
They're a failure of a product this year.
They
100%.
are. Big. I mean, you want to talk about the biggest disappointments in baseball right now, you've got to look at the Baltimore Orioles square in the face and go, what are you guys doing here? I've even heard the possibilities of them getting ready to move on from their general manager already. And we're in April. Well, I heard that in April. So we're like, that's where they are in Baltimore already. Now, they've got a new owner there as well. So things obviously are going to change and whatnot. But I mean, Baltimore being 12-18 to have that much talent, man, that's a problem. That is a big problem.
No doubt. And I took away 3 things from the game yesterday. One, I thought Rob Brenton said it well with Binkley yesterday. This is the team.
Bobby Witt's washed. Jay, do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know about that, Rob.
I don't know, Jay. Let me tell you something. Bobby Witt Jr. only has 3 home runs, and they're not coming in big league ballparks, Jay. A third of his home runs have been on minor league diamonds this year. I think he's washed.
Yeah, well, home run's a home run, Rob. The stat sheet goes as a home run. Yeah. Exactly. They're changing the Mountain Dew label, Rob. Mountain Dew's washed. No, but the 3 things I took away from yesterday's game is 9 of 10 is insane. Like, that's just what you have to do. Like, just keep winning, no matter what your teammates, or not the teammates, but whatever your competition is. Number 2, and I thought about this sitting on the patio, listening to Vern and a little bit of Bink, and then got into the tunes, and the mind started to wonder. What we're seeing from Bobby Witt Jr. during this hit streak is clear-cut evidence that he is the truth. And what I mean by the truth is I don't mean he is the greatest of all time. I'm not saying he's the GOAT. I think he is right now the best baseball player. I quote player in quotes because I think he is the best baseball player on the planet right now because he plays shortstop, he steals, he's a 5-tool player. I get it. Aaron Judge is a machine. He plays right field and he hits home runs. And I know he's hitting it for an average. He's
hitting like 427 right now or something. It's insane.
I'm giving Judge all the flowers he wants. He's the MVP of the league. He's 33. Bobby Witt's 24. Ohtani is a DH. He's a very good DH. He has not pitched in 2023. He does steal the bag, but he doesn't play a position. That's what I'm saying. Player, athlete. And I think now, nationally, if you don't believe that Bobby Witt's the truth, I can't help you. Bobby Witt Jr. is a future star of baseball, and it is clear-cut, evidently obvious right now with this hit streak. Maybe last year people were like, can he do it again? Evidence is right here. And it made me think, like, do you all believe that Bobby Witt Jr. is here for the long haul at this sort of level for at least the next 7 years?
Well, I think so. I think you'd be hard-pressed not to believe that based on the evidence and the body of work that he's shown us and his desire and drive and, kind of, I hate to always use the Mahomes comparison, but it is a legitimate comparison to use in this. I saw a tweet from somebody yesterday or today, this morning that said Bobby Witt and Patrick Mahomes live in the same town, right? And to think about that for a second, we've got the best baseball player and the best football football player living in our town, and they also share a trainer, a mind, a body, and all this kind of stuff. Like, they're kind of that same person. And so I think they're good for each other. Like, I think Mahomes is going to push Bobby. I think Bobby's going to push Mahomes. And so the greatness that both of those guys want to achieve is something that they're always going to be chasing. And I think with both of those guys, it's never going to be where you can take a step back and just relax and be like, oh, I've arrived, right? Like, both of those guys, no matter how good they are always going to strive to be better than what they do. And that's why I think you buy into Bobby Witt Jr., because he's never satisfied with anything.
Right. And so it made me think, like, when was it that you guys, we have a discussion too at the text line, 913-586-7965. When did you know that, like, Mahomes was the truth?
I always go back to the San Francisco game, his first home game, when he found, what was it, DeMarcus Robinson or whoever it was in the back of the end zone, Chris Conley in the back of the end zone on that play where he scrambled left and came all the way back right and through. That was it for me with Patrick Mahomes. Like, the first two games, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. The first one especially, soccer stadium, San Diego, not a good team and whatnot. And I'm like, all right, that's wow, all right. Cool. And then he went to Pittsburgh and did it. I'm like, interesting. And then I saw it with my own eyes in person at Arrowhead for week 3. And that's when I was like, all right, this guy's it. This guy's the truth.
So I wasn't that early because obviously I think, you said week 3.
Yeah.
For me, I knew that he was going to be a problem and be a future of the league when they lost to New England in the AFC Championship game. Because as you always noted, the first half he was nowhere. And then it was like, because we'd seen that in the past, right? And the reason I say this is because in the past when teams would play New England, Manning was that way. A lot of people were this way. Belichick would just spend the entire week studying that quarterback and figuring out their flaws. And that first half, he had Patrick Mahomes completely shook.
Now he has Jordan do that.
And I think at that game, I was like, you know what? It sucks they lost, and it was in overtime, and Mahomes didn't get the ball. But that guy's going to be a problem in the future, and this guy will arrive. And then, of course, the next year they win the Super Bowl, and he's the MVP 2 years later again. And now I wonder, like, when did you realize? Because I think everybody in Kansas City is like, this is great. Bobby Witt Jr., he's, some would say he's not even peaked yet.
How old did you say he was?
24.
25 to 28 are your peak years in baseball. That's what they tell you. It's like 25 to 28. That's your peak time, right?
Which is interesting you say that because a lot of people would say as a quarterback, you peak at 29 to 31.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like when Stafford kind of showed up in Detroit with Calvin Johnson. That's when Brady really started balling, was when he was like 29, 30. Peyton was in his groove at 30. Mahomes was going to be 30 this year. And it's interesting because some people will say the 4th and 9 game against Baltimore when we won the Super Bowl. It was like that old man holding my eyes open.
You won the Super Bowl. That's when you realized
the 4th and 9.
Oh, the 4th and 9.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
nuts.
just.
It's insane.
I'll never forget that play and watching that thing go down. Like thinking, okay, they're like, all right, yeah, he's pretty good, but like, come on, oh my God,
that game was over. Anyone else, that game's over.
Yeah,
man.
it is. I mean, and give Tyreek credit too for running a great route. Like, I mean, that he was hobbling. Yes, he was banged up on that play. But I think with Tyreek Hill on that one, man, like I could give that guy a lot of credit. Like I don't like him off the field. On the field, he's the best wide receiver I've ever seen play the game. And
that's like horseradish.
I mean, like he like you got to give that guy a lot of credit for finding his career. And creating a career for himself. He worked his ass off. Off the field, he's a complete disaster. But on the field, he was. Yeah, but that 4th and 9 play was special, man. Like that, like the gold end zones that day and everything too. Like I don't know, it was just something special about that game.
Because like maybe for some people, for Bobby, it was like somebody says the grand slam against Durant. Like I have that on video. I was there with family. I just got lucky, 3-2 count.
That's awesome.
Had to happen. And he left field, grand slam, one of the greatest like videos I've ever had. Still have it on my phone. And some people might have been like, that's when Bobby arrived. Or that's when I knew that this guy was going to be that. Maybe it was last July's
That's
run.
when it was for me, July's last year.
Run.
Seeing that last year, like I don't care how good a player you are. Nobody does anything like that. That was one of the greatest runs we've ever seen. Not just in Kansas City, obviously, but in Major League Baseball. I mean, that guy was as hot as bacon grease during that. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. And then now you parlay that with what he's done this year. And in the first month of baseball, he's a 22-game hitting streak. And now he's what? 9 games away from tying Whit Merrifield's record of 31.
You have 22.
Yeah. So
long time still, but I mean he's getting there. I mean he's moving. Like you watch Bobby Witt, and it really gives me the same. Again, I hate to continue to do this, but those same Mahomes vibes, like the 13-second game. I always go back to that because I'm sitting there and I'm watching it on TV. They score, and I'm on the edge of my couch with 13 seconds to go. Jen is on the floor in a fetal position, crying, sucking her thumb, and I looked at her. I go, they're winning this game. And that's the way that I feel with Bobby Witt right now. When he comes to the plate, he's getting a hit. Like, that's the expectation. And in baseball, again, you are a Hall of Famer if you fail 70% of the time. So 70% of the time you come to the plate, you ain't getting no hit. Bobby Witt comes to the plate, and I kind of reverse that. I feel like it's the opposite. Like, he is going to get a hit 70% of the time. And there's not many players in sports that you look at, you truly believe that they can do anything at any point in time. And I think for me, Bobby Witt right now is in that category.
Yeah, like if it's a one-run game and nobody's on base, you have the thought in your head like he could hit one out here.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's a hyperbolic take either. Like, or
he's going to get on and start a rally or something, right?
Or even like if it's a little dribbler to third, he's going to beat that out.
He's going to beat it out, steal second, steal third, sack fly, tie game. You know, like that's just kind of how I think of things now.
And I think a lot of people forget the play. I think it was last year. He went first to home in like 11.9 seconds, and it was just like, okay, if he can do that. And then there was this year, like the minute highlights when Vinny hits a little shag fly ball to right field, and he goes from first to home. Like it's just stuff like that. When you see Bobby do that, you're like, okay, this happens more often than it doesn't, and this is special. This guy is going to be something in the future of baseball for a long period of time. And that's why it's fun to parlay this with, because you've been on record, Binkley's been on record, that the greatest thing right now in Kansas City sports is that you have the future of football and the future of baseball locked in your city for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me go back and forth. Like, okay, some people on the text line are like, when I knew Mahomes was that guy, was Monday Night Football, Von Miller's just wrapped all around him like a Christmas present, left-handed throw to Tyreek. You know, there's the 4th and 9 play. There's the Rams game. There's all this.
Yeah, that's another big moment for Mahomes, too.
Yeah.
We were at that game in Denver when that happened, and on the field, actually, because like for the last 2 minutes, they let you kind of go down on the field. Denver's one of the few places to do that, and so I get the opportunity. I'm going to go stand on the field and watch that game, but you're in the end zone, so it's hard to see, and he makes that throw, and you're just kind of like, oh, my God, what the hell is going on here? You know, it was one of those unbelievable moments that you're just like, I can't believe I just saw that thing happen in front of my face.
Nothing's ever in doubt.
No, it isn't.
You know, and the other thing that you take away from the Royals game is the Salvador Perez injury, hip bruise, something like that.
That sucks. I'm not happy with this. right now.
To me it seems like one of those like enigmas of an injury. Like hip, you would think like he's a catcher at first base, even like the way you got to move, swinging the bat. And again, Salvador Perez always had these little injuries throughout his career. Battled back from like one time he only had one eyeball,
right,
and he was still hitting the cover off the baseball. At one point, he was going up the stairs and luggage went over his foot, and he missed the first month of the season. And now we have this little hiccup in the season of Salvador Perez. And then we'll see where it goes from here, because now you're going to get your wish for those fans that really love to see a lot of Freddie Fermin.
Yep.
Want to see if he can be an everyday player for a little bit of a stretch.
I love Freddie Fermin, but I also know like he's in a role where he's really, really good. And sometimes you overexpose guys, you know, and they don't produce. Like, you know, you have somebody that's that fourth outfielder. They get the opportunity to play every day, and you realize why they're that fourth outfielder. Like, I hope for Freddie Fermin we don't see that exposure. But you look at the 40-man roster right now. If they were to have to put him on the disabled list, there's nobody on the 40-man roster right now that's a catcher. You got two guys down in the minor leagues, obviously, but I don't think either one of those guys are ready to be called up. Blake Mitchell and Carter Jensen, one's at AA and one's at single A, so it's not like they're ready to be called up. So you hope this injury isn't anything that's long-term for Salvador Perez, because if it is, you may have to go outside the organization and find some, you know, scrap heap catcher that you can, you know, go to war with for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then the other thing that's kind of interesting with this Royals ball club, it's been a very, very pleasant surprise, is not only Drew Waters, from what he's done since he's been called up and just showing that he hates Omaha and never wants to go back.
Right.
I kid, but like that's the way he's playing.
Well,
like,
who blames him, right?
Yeah, I don't want to go back down. I want to be a Major League Baseball player. I want to stay healthy and be a factor of this team, hitting 290.
Yeah.
And then there's that Michael Garcia guy who's been one hell of a baseball player for this Royals team, and maybe that is your number 5 option in the batting order.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where you start putting Michael Garcia every single day, and you go India, Bobby. Maybe Garcia hits, you know, 4th, and then Vinny hits 3rd, and then you put Drew Waters at 5th, and you've kind of like patched up a bad part of your lineup where it was only Bobby Witt Jr. hitting, and now you've got guys that are contributing. And you know, to the text, like I also give Bobby Witt Jr. a little bit of credit for this team starting to roll, because being successful and winning is super contagious. And everybody wants to do their part, and everybody, you know, wants to be like, well, we got to help Bobby out. Let's, you know, I need to What's he doing? Oh, he's just going up there relaxing and hitting the ball and just trying to contribute.
See ball, hit ball.
Right? And so, like, Michael Garcia playing absolutely out of his mind. Bobby Witt Jr. is on this tear of a 22-game hit streak. And Drew Waters has been a pleasant surprise as being called up and really kind of fixing that, hole in the lineup of bad outfielders that can't play. Like Hunter Renfroe, Melendez, obviously.
Well,
down in
Melendez,
AAA.
I told you when he got sent down, we weren't going to see him again, right?
Yeah,
and
he got
Drew
thrown out
Waters,
third yesterday.
well, he also had the hardest hit that Omaha's ever seen. I saw them tweet that out yesterday. There's no reason to tweet that out. Nobody cares.
And then thrown out
of third, right? But like I told you, MJ Melendez wasn't going to come back up here. I didn't realize Drew Waters would be hitting close to 300, and that's going to be a reason why MJ Melendez isn't going to come back up here unless they just decide to cut Hunter Renfroe, and then they need somebody. But if they do that, you got to go outside the organization and get another outfielder. So there's a lot of great things going on with this ball club right now, and it's time to get excited. I have a Eeyore friend of mine that every game they lose, this team stinks. Now they're winning, they're 9-1, and he's sending me emojis of brooms and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's May 1st. I mean, why were you so upset? He goes, the whole city was out on this team. I go, they were? I don't recall the whole city being out on this team. At 8-14, were you disappointed? Yeah, you're a little, but it's also middle of April. For God's sakes. I mean, we got to keep this in mind. Stop watching this damn sport like it's the NFL. I mean, my God, just enjoy the ride. And you're going to have slow starts. Everybody in baseball starts slow, and then May happens, and it warms up, and all of a sudden, everybody's hitting now. Everybody's starting to see the ball better. Everybody's getting a better feel for, being in this climate and big league ballparks and all that kind of stuff. And the Royals are heating up right at the right time. So you just got to pace yourself with baseball, man. Like 10 games at a time. 1 month at a time. You don't have to live and die every moment in every game. You're going to drive yourself insane if you're doing that. And riding that roller coaster, that ain't healthy.
Yeah, from a lineup that was dissipating fast earlier on.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. hitting 322. Salvador Perez all the way up to 237.
He was like at 180 about a week ago.
He was. Michael Garcia is at 296. Drew Waters at 290 for the batting average people out there. So finding people that are contributing has been nice. It's been a key component to this 9 out of 10 games in a row that they've won, 9 out of 10. But also, not only that, like, they're hitting the ball now. They're starting to score runs, right? Yesterday, 8 runs. I think they had like 15 hits or whatever it was, or 13, whatever it was. They had, they just absolutely.
And that's a lot on a getaway day where every pitch is a strike, you know?
And so it's fun to see. And now they get to go play Baltimore, who's a struggling franchise, who you've had their number in the playoffs. You've had their number in, maybe this year as well. Going 2 out of 3 in Baltimore and continue this hot streak and continue to keep winning and keep closing that gap between you, Detroit, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then when you play those teams, take care of business, because then that's when people will really start to judge you. But it was an interesting conversation to have of when you knew Bobby Witt was the truth and when you knew Mahomes was the truth, because both are in Kansas City, both are locked up for long term, and both are the future faces of, if not the face of, the current leagues.
Yeah,
So,
and I think also too, Baltimore is an interesting one. Maybe the Royals broke them in the playoffs last year. Like seriously, like they got their ass kicked in the playoffs last year. Like, I know it wasn't high-scoring affairs or anything like that, but Baltimore left with a whimper. They really didn't show up to that postseason series. And now they're off to this 12-18 start. Keep losing teams losing is one of the most important things in sports. If you can't keep losing teams losing, well, then that's on you. And then when you don't make the postseason, you wonder why. Oh, we lost to the Raiders, or we lost to the the Orioles or the White Sox or something like that. You've got to keep these losing teams losing, and that's another opportunity now in Baltimore where nobody is excited about their team right now.
Vern's On Deck show tonight at 5 o'clock as he hits the airwaves at 5 p.m. Vern's On Deck show tonight. Waka versus, I want to say his name is Kramer.
Spell it.
Kremer.
Kramer? Just say it fast.
Kramer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Put it in your coffee. He has a 7.04 ERA. Michael Waka, 3.38 ERA. Royals at 6.05.
7.04. Good
Go take advantage of it. Coming up.
Beat the hell out of that guy. That's a tomato can.
It's the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Coming up next, we do our best 2-horse races here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Hey, what's up, man?
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
QC Kinetics provided amazing pain relief for a former professional baseball player, and you have access to the same life-changing treatments as retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez.
I put a lot of stress and strain and work on my right arm, but my right elbow took most of the damage with 3 surgeries.
Arthritis developed, and the pain was unbearable.
It wasn't just pain when I was trying to play sports. It was anytime I was moving the right elbow. It was pretty excruciating at times.
That's when Jose discovered QC Kinetics and the regenerative treatments that help the body heal itself, restoring damaged tissue and providing relief with no surgery or downtime. Jose's message to the medical professionals at QC Kinetics?
My elbow is feeling outstanding. Where were you 10 years ago, for crying out loud?
QC Kinetics is right here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics. 816-412-6299.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just 2 deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Constantino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. We're kicking things off with a family fun day at every Constantino store this Saturday from 10 to 2. Bring the kids for face painting, balloon artists, caricatures, and tasty snacks like snow cones, popcorn, and cotton candy. Activities will vary by location. Plus, for the next 3 weeks, enjoy the hottest prices of the year in every store. It's been our family's honor to serve yours for 77 years and counting.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This postseason, BetMGM, authorized gaming operator of the NBA, is making first field goal scorer wagers more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite baller to score the first field goal, only to see him dish the rock to his teammate for the easy layup? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first field goal scorer scores second instead. That's right, simply bet on any player to score the first field goal during any playoff game. If you're right, you win. But if your pick scores second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Keep the hoop dreams alive this NBA playoffs, even if your bet misses. Grab the chance at getting your stake back at BetMGM, authorized gaming operator of the NBA. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Getting the job done right the first time protects your home, time, and budget. This month, get $500 off a water softener and filtration combo. Schedule at anthonyphce.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Downtown 670 westbound heavy from 71 over to I-35 with an accident. 70 eastbound slows past Prospect. Stays pretty heavy over to 18th Street where you're down to one lane with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Render judgment, baby. Toby Keith's horse should have been called Should Have Been a Cowboy. Or How Do You Like Me Now? What? Have you never heard of the song Should Have Been a Cowboy?
I've heard it.
I'll bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought about running away? But it is a Kentucky Derby.
Should have been a cowboy.
So great.
Should have learned to rope and ride.
There you go.
Fired my six-shooter light like lightning in the cattle drive.
Nope.
Feeling a young girl's heart, just like Gene and Mel. Should have been a cowboy man living in Texas.
Please, Max, save us.
All right, 2-horse race, guys.
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby this Saturday, 5 o'clock-ish. The broadcast will be on all day. Broadcast will be on all day. You'll get a 5-minute race.
There's other
5 minutes, the fastest 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
In sports. I said fastest 2 minutes. I didn't include any of us.
I am in that category.
I got some tips for you.
Men's
It's
wieners.
all about the arms. Moving the arms faster will get you to where you want to go. Longer strides. It's my football
been
coach.
pounded this week.
My football coach, Mr. Hill, who all he did was yell water, but run faster, Bobby. Longer strides.
On the hop, Bob.
Damn it, Bobby. You get water when you finish the
He was
race.
like Mr. Hill. It was Tom
Damn
Hill.
it,
I'll never
Bobby.
forget the guy.
You look like a guy who uses a charcoal grill. Go ahead, 2-horse race.
Bobby Witt or De La Cruz?
Oh, boy. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one because I don't know who wins. I think it's Ellie De La Cruz that wins that race because I think he's considered the fastest guy in baseball right now. But I'm not doubting Bobby Witt in this one. I would love to see that race. I say that's what you do at like the All-Star game and things like that, but then somebody blows a hamstring.
Exactly, yep.
Because it is baseball, too. Don't forget, we're talking about baseball players at the end of the day, so somebody will have a hangnail or something like that, but whatever.
Don't they have that opportunity? Like, if you could, like, put the two, like, side by side and have, like, Bobby Witt, De La Cruz from when they went from first to home, like, who would win? I don't know who wins.
I think it's different, though, when you're racing somebody, you know?
Like, if they both ran a 40-yard dash, I think I got to go with our guy. I got to go with Bob.
Okay. Love it.
I think De La Cruz's strides are longer.
Much longer.
But he seems like a guy who gradually gets faster, whereas Bobby's like right out of the
Right
chute.
out of the gate, yep. Quick.
I'd like to see that. I think people would sign up for that,
hell yeah.
baseball fans, man. Let's go. 40-yard dash, Ellie De La Cruz versus Bobby Witt Jr.
I mean, yeah, Tyreek's been saying he's going to race every athlete in the NFL.
Well, and he never shows up.
Exactly,
Yeah,
never happens.
Well, he's racing Phillip Rivers and Cromartie right now and winning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cody or Bob singing?
Me. I have hits. I didn't even know Cody was singing.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Wow. No, you got to spend a weekend in Arkansas, don't you?
Nope. I got to spend a weekend in Springfield.
Oh, Springfield. That's right.
Yeah, I'll be with
6 of one, half a dozen of another.
I get to be with Cody and Gold and Drew as we go down to see Caglione play on Saturday night with over 200-plus people joining us as well. It's going to be a fun time. And Gold and I are shacking up. Cody's on his own. Cody wants to go karaoke singing. I said, I will go to the opposite bar.
I would run as far from a karaoke bar with him as possible.
I've got to go with Bob because Cody doesn't have hits like this.
French toast had never crossed my mind. There'd be no strips of bacon on the side. No eggs of any kind. If it wasn't for breakfast. If it wasn't for breakfast.
I'm kind of hoping for the fastest 2 minutes of my life.
So, yeah, Cody can't beat that.
No.
Speck or Kramer, better athlete in their mind?
Oh, it's Steven Spector, without a doubt.
What do you say? He could hit Mariano Rivera?
Yep, get a hit off of Mariano Rivera.
Said he could shoot 74 at the Masters from the actual tips.
Now, I will agree with Steven on this one. He claims he could play outfield for the T-Bones or the Monarchs now. I agree. He could play. He could absolutely play for the Monarchs, yeah. I agree with that one. And I told him that the other day, and I wasn't joking. I like to bust his balls like it's nobody's business. But I do think he could play outfield for the Monarchs. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, Kramer said he's buying a torpedo bat for his men's league. Yes. Said he could catch 100 of 100 shag pop flies in center field with a high noon sun. He needs a Surfside stun. Then he might even catch even more than 100.
Nice.
But, yeah, come on, man. Like, which one do I believe? I think Kramer literally, like, Kramer's in the other day, like, saying I could squat 420.
Well, I think he probably could. But, like, when you say sports, I'm thinking about, like, team sports, like Mariano Rivera getting a hit off of him or something like that.
Yeah, Spector was playing 4 hockey games the other night.
Yeah. Spector had, like, a 4 hockey game night. Like Spector plays hockey, man. So, like, Steven's the guy.
The greatest unknown.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Steven can skate and play hockey. That's hard to do. I don't know that Kramer can do that.
I feel like Kramer thinks he could like hit off a Shohei or something if he was still pitching. Or
Oppo Taco, dude. Yeah. Yes. He's like, did you see Skeens yesterday give him 3 home runs to the Cubs? I could definitely hit one out. Exactly. Torpedo bat.
Yeah.
Porn stash. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. Okay, me or Drew in the parking lot?
Oh, Bob's seen one of them.
Wait, hang on a second. What do you mean you or Drew in
running
the parking
routes?
lot? Oh, running routes?
Yeah.
I've seen Mac. I'll take Drew.
Oh. Damn.
Damn it.
It's like his mother-in-law said you can't make it at West Point.
Yeah, that's right. And Ralph right now is going, yeah, I've seen Mac too. I know what that's all about.
Whatever you don't do it in this parking lot, you'll have a torn ACL, Achilles tendon. Yeah. You'll have Salvador Perez's hip.
Lucky all those potholes weren't out there when Amy took the scooter out years ago and went over the top.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so you're taking Drew as well, Dusty?
Yeah, because now I'm festering in my mind.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I think you're younger than Drew, right?
By a couple years, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take you. I'll take my boy.
All right, let's go. Thank you.
You haven't seen him. When you see him run those routes, you'll be like, oh my God.
I don't know.
Like, you don't know how to cut routes off with, like, crisp angles.
Oh, man, I'm like Edelman out there. Come on, dude.
You're like the suburban Lad McConkey.
Yeah, this is exactly right.
I don't even know that he's the suburban Lad McConkey. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, to some guys who cut off routes even better than me, Worthy or Tyreek?
That's like horseradish.
What are we talking about here?
40-yard dash.
Yeah, in a race, 40-yard dash.
2-horse race.
I'm going to take Worthy because he's younger.
He ran a faster 40 at the combine.
Yeah.
He's smaller. He's not as big as Tyreek.
Right. Tyreek's doing other things. So,
give me Worthy.
In pads, does that change?
Tyreek probably doesn't have as much energy left. I'm going to take Worthy.
In pads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's younger. Yeah.
What is I wonder what Tyreek's 40 would be today. Because he ran like a 4.34 or something like that at the combine, or maybe it was like a 4.2. Worthy ran a 4.23, right, or something in there.
We haven't heard Tyreek talk about his speed recently.
I believe it was sub 4.3 and it was 4.28 or 4.29. I don't think it was 4.23.
For Worthy?
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame as the fastest 40 of all time.
Right. I thought it was like 4.32 or something.
No,
like
it was definitely sub 4.3.
It was
4.29 is the number that coming out.
Okay, if you say so, I'm good with that. I don't care.
Look it up!
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I think that I would take Worthy, but it would be close.
And if you're asking me who you're taking,
what was it?
4.21.
4.21.
That's crazy. Almost sub 4.2.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost sub 4.2.
That's insanity.
Like in the membrane, man. Like, that's crazy.
4.4 used to be like, whoa.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, I remember when Trunk Candidate ran his 40, and everyone's like, this might be the fastest player ever.
What a terrible draft pick that was.
Damn.
He was going to replace Marshall
Yes,
Faulk.
he was.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
Nah, never happened.
No,
okay, last but not least, Carrington or Rob, who gets washed first?
I don't know, Rob. I'll tell you. I think I'm going to get washed first. I don't know, Carrington. You are going to that horse race. You may get peed on by a horse, and that doesn't count as getting washed, but it may rain at the Derby because Binkley just sent a text that he's studying mutters right now because it's going to rain, and Binkley wants to weigh in on the horse. So, Carrington, I think I'll get washed first.
No doubt about it. Coming up on the other side, we talk about a surprise royal. No, not Bobby Witt Jr., somebody else here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you something. My friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control were out yesterday giving that lawn another cut. And, boy, it looks beautiful. It looks just stunning. Every single time they cut it, it looks better and better and better than it did the week prior. And that's because the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control know what they're doing. They're college-educated professionals, and they get the job done right the first time. They put down one application and one dandelion killer, whatever you want to call it. I've got no dandelions. I've got no weeds. I've got a green, lush, beautiful front lawn that I've been trying to get looking like that for the better part of a decade. And it hasn't happened, and that's why I said, hey, Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, get on out here and take care of business, and they have done just that. And also, now that we're getting into the spring months, it is already May, that mosquito dome is going to get put over the top of the house in the yard, and we're going to have the opportunity to sit outside without getting bit by those bugs, and, of course, all the fleas and ticks will be off the dog as well. So you need to get in touch with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Whether you're looking for full-service lawn care, irrigation, or pest control, they're the right ones to call, and you'll get up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So don't wait. Call today, or better yet, just visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
At Busey Bank and CrossFirst Bank, we're partnering to help make your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth, cash flow management, and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Together, we're building extraordinary impact in business, wealth, and community. Busey Bank and CrossFirst Bank. Member FDIC.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get ready for summer's heat with a $69 AC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our expert technicians will make sure your system is working at peak efficiency to help you save money on energy costs. At Hamilton, we know how important your family's comfort is. Our exceptional service guarantee, plus over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, are great reasons to trust Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Visit callhamilton.com for detailed terms and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Midwest Auto Services in downtown. 670 westbound accident before 35 has built delays onto I-70 westbound, which is now heavy all the way back to Truman. 71 northbound slow heading into downtown as well. 70 eastbound also quite heavy approaching Prospect. Stays very slow to 18th Street where you're down to one lane with construction. Is driving your vehicle like fighting a wild bull? Does it lead, pull, or feel out of sync when you accelerate or brake? Are you replacing tires a lot due to poor wear? Let Midwest Auto Services check your alignment. Call 816-224-4247 or MidwestAutoservices.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
What's up, KC? This is Matt Quattrero. On your way home from the ballpark, make sure to listen to Vern's postgame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. I will not be listening.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Diving right back into it. Happy Kentucky Derby race on Saturday. Cougar Chow, Momo, Mac Attack.
The names keep growing.
You got more?
Oh, we got more, baby. Chad McConkey from the A1.
That's a good one. I like it. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Chad McConkey.
Mac's new name could be Low Rent Lad.
You're like cardboard box lad, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie. You're like dude under the bridge at 435 in Warnell, McConkey. Like, that's you.
Oh, these hips are loose, baby.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you out there doing like the Dak Prescott stretches?
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah.
Chad McConkey.
Chad McConkey's beautiful.
Oh, that's great. Chad McConkey. Beakley weighed in on a text message, said that Xavier Worthy ran at 4.21.
Gotcha.
I tell you about 4.21.
Who did he weigh in on his horse for the weekend, too?
Whoever pees first or last.
Yeah, whoever pees right before, right?
Yeah. They empty the bladder to make them faster.
Yeah.
According to the mutter, Mr. Binkley.
That's what he says. Hey, look, he studies horse, man.
Yep. 2 to 5 today on the drive, Binkley and Rob.
Yeah.
More Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dew and chocolate donuts. Breakfast of champions.
That's Binkley right there in a nutshell with a dip in. Man, I'll tell you what.
I will say that is a guilty pleasure, those like Hostess chocolate donuts.
Dude, get the donuts from Hy-Vee now.
Ooh,
They're
yeah.
freshly fried every day.
Yeah.
Pick up those donuts at Hy-Vee. You'll thank me for that, I promise you. You go in there, you get those donuts. They're beautifully fried and, delicious. And hot.
Yeah, somebody said on the text line like a week ago, thanks a lot, guys, for referencing the Hy-Vee donuts. Now
You're
I
welcome.
can't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. When something's good, we're going to tell you about it, man. Get on to Hy-Vee, get those donuts, bring them in for your office today, right? Do something nice for somebody on a Friday.
Not mad about that. Somebody that's doing something nice for an entire team is Michael Garcia, boys.
Boy, I love this guy right now. And I don't think it's out of my, hyperbolic chamber to say that like he's the second best player on the Royals. And I watched this guy, and I've been watching him like for the last 3 years now, and have always liked Michael Garcia. Last year he didn't have such a good year, right? And he's one of those guys I'm like, I really like this guy. He's just a good player, right? He is your best infielder other than Bobby Witt. I mean, to me, he is your best infielder right now on this roster other than Bobby Witt Jr. And we spend so much time, in sports and in life, really, for that matter. I mean, I'm just looking up at ESPN, what's not working, what does, we never spend time on the good stuff in sports. And, like, it's easy to sit here and bitch and moan that Vinny isn't hitting where he needs to be hitting or, whoever else, right? But Michael Garcia is one of these guys who's hitting now close to 300, had a beautiful day yesterday, and he feels like the second best player on this team, in my opinion. He's having a hell of a start, playing multiple positions, going out there. One day he's in left, one day he's in center, one day he's in right, one day he's at second, one day he's at third. I mean, this guy is playing all over the diamond. He's consistently good, and he gives your team a chance to win every single day when he steps out on the field. I don't know if they're above 500 without Garcia on the team right now, because that's how good and important that he's been to this team. And other than Bobby Witt, which we're getting into that same kind of Mahomes category, other than Patrick Mahomes, other than Bobby Witt, he is the MVP, the second most valuable player on this team right now. And I'm not including the pitchers, obviously, but from a positional standpoint, he's your second best player in this organization.
Not what you just said, just the top text, Mac. Yes. And I think it was one of those things where, like, this lineup was desperate and this lineup needed somebody. Didn't matter who. Could have been Massey, could have been Isbell, could have been Mac, Chad McConkey. Michael Garcia took last year and, ended it with a big old piece of humble pie. Got with, I don't know, George Brett in the offseason. And Brett's like, we talked about hitting. I like this guy. He's talented. I told him, stop trying to hit home runs. Just hit line drives, and you'll be successful. I'm not giving George Brett all the credit. I'm giving all the credit to Michael Garcia, because there are some guys that we know on record who took George Brett's advice and said, I'll be fine.
You mean MJ playing in Omaha right now?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And we have audio to prove that. George, tried to tell him, keep that top hand on the ball, kind of stay closer into it. And he was like, yeah, okay. And one guy now is hitting 295 and is the second best hitter on your lineup. The other guy is in AAA and can't hit the baseball.
Well, he had the hardest hit in Omaha history last night, they told us.
Yeah. And
that and 50 cents will get you a phone call.
Wait till Caglione gets up to AAA. But the thing is that, like, you needed this. And it's no surprise that the team is starting to find their groove hitting-wise, and they're starting to put up more runs and get more hits and get more action in that lineup because other people are starting to hit, and it's contagious. It's Bobby Witt Jr., 22-game hit streak. Oh, but don't forget about me over here, Michael Garcia, who's had 5 of his last 7 games be like multiple hit games. That's not the actual stat, but it seems like every time he comes up to the plate, he's either getting a hit or every time he plays a game, he's getting a 2-hit game, and it's in a good moment. He can run. He can steal. I know he's been thrown out more this year than he has in his entire career. That will even itself out. I'm not asking him to steal 50 bags, but, hit 280 and steal 30 to 35 bags this year, where Bobby Witt Jr. could hit 315, 320 and steal 40. What do we talk about this team? Defense, pitching, and speed. Michael Garcia, defense and speed. Bobby Witt Jr., defense and speed. And if you do have this little lull in your lineup where Salvador Perez, who's finally starting to come around and hit the ball a little bit better, he does miss some time, you feel a little bit better with Michael Garcia doing what he's doing. And let's not also forget about Drew Waters. Like, Drew Waters is absolutely playing out of his mind.
That was a great trade that they made, and that was right before Dayton was moved out, and they traded like a draft pick for Drew Waters.
Atlanta gave up on him.
They gave up on him, and the Royals were like, we'll take him here. And for a little bit of time, it looked like things weren't going to go in the right direction with Drew Waters, but he's figured it out. He's turned it around, and now he's hitting close to 300. And so Michael Garcia is just a guy that you can definitely win with. And the George Brett stuff is very interesting to me because if you're a Major League Baseball player, and I know we're in an era now where a lot of people don't care about the past and they don't look at history, and it doesn't matter to them because it didn't happen in their lifetime. But if you're a Major League Baseball player, especially on a team like the Royals, and you have one of the greatest hitters, one of the top 5 hitters to have ever played the game at your beck and call for advice whenever you need it, why aren't you talking to George Brett all the time about what made him successful? Because the only thing that's changed in the game has been the front offices hiring nerds to cloud everybody's judgment. If I'm a Major League Baseball player, sorry, I'm not listening to any of the analytic guys. I'm listening to George Brett. That man chased 400. That man hit 390. That man is a career 300 hitter. You know what? I appreciate all your stats and your nerd stuff. I'm going to go talk to the Hall of Famer and see how he did it. Because when George was doing it back in his day, it was not hard. It was very simplified. And that's what, going back to the old stories of his hitting coach, Charlie Lau, and how they kind of worked on things and came up together, that's what it was all about, simplifying this thing. And it sure seems like Michael Garcia has simplified this thing. And if it's a conversation with George Brett to tell him how to do that, all of these guys need to be having conversations with the Hall of Famer, one of the greatest hitters of all time. Stop worrying about what the front office is telling you from a statistical, analytical standpoint, and go talk to a man who's done it before. And that's what I think is so important. Like, if these guys aren't utilized, I've never understood that. You've got George Brett right there to use any time you want as a player on this team, and you're not taking advantage of that, you're an idiot. You really are. And so when you hear the Michael Garcia, well, I listened to George, and now I'm hitting close to 300, and then you look at MJ, who didn't listen to George, hit 087, is now wasting time at Omaha, you tell me what you were going to do in those type of situations. These guys ought to be calling George like it's nobody's business. Mike Sweeney, very successful big league hitter you have on the ability to call. Reggie Sanders. There's a lot of guys in this organization that had success hitting. And if you're not, pick up the phone and call those guys because they'll tell you how to do it.
For a reference, this is what George said on opening day this year.
I liked his approach a little bit better. He got rid of the big high kick. He's got his hands in a better position to start a swing. Every once in a while, it's really, really good. And then every once in a while, once it goes back to that last year's swing. And I've had conversations with him telling him that, hey, if I was you, I would just take my top hand off all the time. And he's just a hard guy to get through to. And, hopefully his way works. It didn't work last year, in my opinion, and it worked some in spring training this year. He still strikes out a lot, but when he hits the ball, he hits it awfully hard. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's a strong kid. He's a real strong kid. We just got to cut down those strikeouts. That's all we got to do.
And that was Brett on MJ Melendez.
Yeah,
and the strikeouts have continued. The strikeouts have continued in AAA. Humble yourself. Be like, hey, George, it's MJ. I apologize. I'm ready to listen.
That's right. Hey, George, it's MJ.
Yeah. Hey, George, it's Michael Garcia. Thank
you.
You know what I mean? Like
it's not hard, man. Like people in sports continue to make this stuff harder than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Harder than it needs to be with analytics. Harder than it needs to be with every single situation mapped out for you. George Brett, hey, man, what do you think? Keep your top hand on the bat or let your top hand go off the bat. Make sure you follow through, keep your eye on the ball, hit it the opposite direction, stop trying to hit home runs and go out there. And I'm obviously oversimplifying that, but that's what George Brett can do for these guys because he's been there. He's done that. He understands what it's like to stand in that batter's box. There are too many people in sports today, and I hate to be the never done it guy, but if you got a guy who's never done it versus a guy that's a Hall of Famer and one of the top of all time, who are you going to listen to? You got to be listening to George Brett. One guy did. He's having a great season. The other guy didn't. He's picking daisies in Omaha.
No doubt. So, yeah, good to see. Glad to have Michael Garcia hitting.
Great.
Glad to have Drew Waters hitting. Glad to have Bobby Witt Jr. being the hottest player on the planet outside of the name of Darren Judge. And then the text line said, Garcia kind of gives me Kane vibes.
I don't know if I'm to that level yet. Michael Garcia just gives me good baseball player vibes. Gives me the vibe of like that's a potential, like if you list jerseys you want to buy, he's kind of on that list right now for me. You know, like he's one of those type of guys, man. Like it's just and those are the guys you need to have success, right? You're not going to have 15 Bobby Witts. All of your role players need to step it up, and he's done a great job of taking advantage of an opportunity and coming back off a down season. Had a good season, then he had a down season, and now he's having a good season again. And there's something to be said about that, too, for those guys to go out there and come back from a bad season. Like Garcia's been great this year.
How did the Royals acquire Drew Waters? I'll tell you. The Braves traded Waters, C.J. Alexander, and Andrew Hoffman to the Kansas City Royals in exchange for the 35th overall pick in the 2022 Major League Baseball draft, a competitive balanced pick that Atlanta used on J.R. Ritchie. Thank you, the Atlanta Braves.
I don't know who J.R. Ritchie is.
Sounds like a real estate agent.
Hi, I'm J.R. Ritchie. Come on down to the TV store and buy your new TV today. Our prices are nuts.
I can't imagine Bob Fescoe disagreeing with the decision that was made yesterday of a dad getting banned from his son's games for obvious reasons. Yeah, we'll get to that on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that. And often, we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym, could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And even if you're in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find that your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make the change for good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education. But that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese.
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
My car!
But what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you file your claim right on the State Farm mobile app. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. But what if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you could sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9393 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 70 westbound, slow from Prospect into the downtown loop. Earlier accident along 670 westbound built those delays, but that has cleared and things move better once you get onto 670. 70 eastbound moves better as well. Earlier construction around Prospect has cleared. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Here I go again on my own.
Oh, boy. It's now your local karaoke bar in Overland Park. You might find Bob Fescoe.
No, you won't. No,
he'll be on the patio.
No, we got soccer tonight. We got a graduation party tonight. A lot going on. No chance I'm at a karaoke bar.
Busy.
Very busy night. Very busy. I don't know that I sing karaoke either. I think I've only done that one time in my life at the Red Balloon.
Really?
I don't even think the Red Balloon.
99 Red Balloons?
No, I wish I would have. I forget. I think I sang Piano Man with my friend Paul. We were at the Red Balloon. I don't even think the Red Balloon's open anymore. They used to serve Kraft mac and cheese as one of their staples there. Great dive bar. But not 99 Red Balloons. That's a banger.
Yeah, I like the German version better.
99 Luftballons.
Yeah, Luftballons. Going back to the Michael Garcia thing, I thought this was interesting. We were talking in between the show. The luxury of having a pitching staff that is maybe the best in the AL. We'll see Seattle here shortly, but they could contend with that conversation as well. Having a good pitching staff and see Michael Garcia is a blessing in disguise. Because if you only had like 2 starters, like let's say you only had Reagans and Bubic this year.
Okay.
Let's say Lugo was just absolutely, terrible. Waka couldn't find the plate. And Lorenzen's,
he's doing curls and kissing his bicep, but can't throw a strike.
More power to him. Michael Garcia would be the one player that the Royals would shop to see if they get an arm.
No doubt. Yeah.
Now you don't have to do that.
Exactly. And that's a great point to bring up because he's now, I don't want to use the term luxury because that's what Josh called Ben Zobrist when we got him, and it proved to be not a luxury, a need, for the team. And you kind of made that comparison when we were talking in break a little bit. But now you get the opportunity to just let this kid go out there and play and not have to worry about flipping him for a pitcher. Pitching is hard to acquire. The Royals do have a surplus, shockingly, one of the teams in baseball that has a surplus at starting pitching. Shockingly that anybody has a surplus of starting pitching in baseball today, but the Royals do. I mean, we saw it the other night with Chillicothe on the mound. Like, you can start moving forward now and starting to think, okay, if we need to get to a certain spot where we do need to acquire that bat, then maybe Chris Bubich is a guy that can be potentially, traded for a great bat to come back and return. Right. But if Vinny starts picking it up and Michael Garcia continues to do this and Drew Waters becomes a regular in the lineup, the need for a bat kind of dissipates a little bit. Not saying it goes away, but maybe you don't need as big and as powerful a bat as you would have needed if those guys aren't picking it up, and you can go get like a tier B bat and not have to give up as much like they did last year when they rebuilt that bullpen.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that that you do have this, luxury. I know you say you don't like that, but you do have that because that has not been Zobrist or Michael Garcia this year. That is your pitching staff, right?
Yeah,
like that's
right.
what you're saying. Like, you don't have to necessarily, and at this point, maybe you don't have to trade anybody, right? Because like if Garcia does continue to do this, and Drew Waters is a surprise that you have this year because he's finally healthy, he's finally got a shot, he's tired of Omaha, and it's using that to kind of rebrand himself. Bobby does his thing. Sal comes back from this little hiccup, and Vinny starts figuring out that it's May, and he's got to get his act together. Then all of a sudden, like, your 1 through 6 is your 1 through 6, and if you're going to carry that, and basically reverse the pitching thing, where it's like in the 14, 15, 16 years, it was all we need is a 1-run lead after the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Now it's like if you just have a 2-run lead after the first, you essentially can use your starting pitching to keep you in that game because it's done it all year. Again, like, I think the best pitching staff, at least in the AL, I know there's other people that may argue with Seattle, whoever, but it is nice that you don't have to eventually be like, man, I like this Michael Garcia guy, but man, he's a hell of a big piece of trade bait here.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He's not.
Which
No,
is nice.
It's great.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, with the pitching staff, the way that it's been, their staff ERA, we talked about earlier, 2.14 since April 20th. It's been unbelievable. That's also going to revert back to the means, right? There will be some games where the pitching isn't there. And now that the hitting's starting to, kind of warm up a little bit, look what happened. They went to a warm climate in Tampa.
In a minor league park.
Take the minor league park out. I'm not going to
because Bobby's homer yesterday was a total minor league homer.
Yeah, but so what?
It's a home run.
It's a home run. It's where you're playing these games. But
it is what it is.
But you just need to see a little success, right? Now, again, the weather's warming up. They're going to Baltimore. It's probably going to be humid there. It's the most humid place I've ever been in my entire life. Another small ballpark, exactly. You got the opportunity to continue this going. You've seen 3 days of success. You got warm. You got the bats going in the right direction. Now you continue that. And again, it's a losing team again in Baltimore. Keep a losing team losing. That's your job. That's your number one job on this road trip. And so far, you're 3-0.
No doubt about it. Somebody on the text line says, Dusty, who would you rather spot during squats, Lorenzen or Cags? Yes. I'd rather see both of them do curls other than squats. I'm not a big squats guy, but apparently Drew is.
Well, you have to if you're going to be a pitcher. If you're not working out your legs as a pitcher, man, you're doing it wrong.
Legs and ass is what you have to do.
Look at Nolan Ryan. Look at his legs, man. That's why he was able. Roger Clemens, same type of way. Some of the great pitchers of all time. It's all about those legs. Lorenzen's got a pair of legs on him, man. I'll tell you what.
I'm glad you brought those two names up because I saw a baseball meme and it said Roger Clemens threw 0 no-hitters and won 7 Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan threw 7 no-hitters and never won a Cy Young.
Isn't that crazy that Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young? Arguably the greatest pitcher in the history of this game, and he's never won a Cy Young award. Friend of the show as well, but never, ever won a Cy Young award. Cy Young never won a Cy Young either. Can you imagine that?
That'd be like the equivalent of Peyton Manning never winning an MVP. Thanks. One of the best quarterbacks of your generation, never won MVP. Now, Nolan Ryan's, to his defense, there was also Steve Carlton in his era.
Yeah, there was a lot of good pitchers, but he's still Nolan Ryan. He's still the best of the best,
7 no-hitters. So yesterday, the news came out of Indiana. We were talking about this, I believe, on Tuesday.
It's Jonathan India.
Yeah. But no, the Indiana Pacers, for the foreseeable future, starting today and ending no time set, Halliburton Sr. is not allowed at home games in Indiana. I don't know about road games, but I know that he is not allowed
road or home games.
Road or home games for the foreseeable future for his actions of interfering in his son's game, trying to spark some sort of troll job with Giannis.
Who do you think made that decision? Do you think it was the team? Do you think it was the son? Or do you think it was the father actually being a man and saying, hey, man, I'm sorry. I effed that up. I'm not coming anymore.
I think it's ownership. I think, but in hindsight, I think the decision came after Halliburton, the player, after what he said in the press conference.
I think the son went to the father and goes, "Sorry, Dad, man. Like, I can't have you doing that. I have a hard time believing that the team did that without the player's blessing. The blessing." And so I think the son went to the old man and said, "Dad, that was uncalled for. I can't have that. I've got bigger things to focus on right now. I can't have to worry about you being a jackass."
I kind of think it was a little overboard for me personally, but just send him up in the rafters or something. Sit him in 130 and normal section.
You don't need to be babysitting somebody and worry about
babysitting.
And
now it is babysitting. Yeah, I'm with Dusty on this. Get him the hell out of the arena. It's one less thing you got to worry about.
Here's my thing. You effed up. You pay the consequence.
That's right.
Stop breaking the law, a-hole.
Right, exactly.
That's the thing is you made it about you, and now we're going to make this rule about you. Again, I'm with you. I think after this year, sure, but you're no longer allowed in this
if they
area.
make the Eastern Conference Finals, his dad can't go.
Sorry, no, you're out.
No,
yeah.
You want to hear a story?
Don't be a jerk.
I got hammered in college and told my professors that I was going to go home for homecoming weekend, and it was a mandatory thing that we had to go. You can call Joe Moore, my professor at UCM. We had to go cover homecoming's game. Everybody to be there. I was trying to go to Kegs and Eggs, and I lied to my professor. Unfortunately, I had a rat in my class that saw me walking home sideways like a zombie out of my mind and told our professor. The next week, the President of the United States came to our campus, and I was not allowed to go because I lied and effed up. I could have met the President of the United States.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it because I messed up. I'm sorry.
We've all been there, yeah.
I don't care if Indiana goes to the finals. You ruined it yourself, sir. Good day. You lose, sir.
Good day.
Yeah, no, you do. There's no, I'm not in this to make everybody's feelings happy and all this kind of stuff. You effed up, you pay the consequences. And it's about time we're starting to hold people accountable again.
And you know what? That decision changed my life. When that happened to me, and
it's huge, right? I bet, yeah.
All my friends in my class, all my classmates, handshaking Obama, whatever. I don't care who the president is.
That's cool, man. You want to meet the president of the United States.
All my family's like, are you going to be at UCM today? I heard the president's going to be there. All the news outlets there's like, no, I'm at home. Why? Let me tell you. And from that day forward, I was like, get your ass in gear, graduate college, live out your career, and I'm probably not the person I am today if that doesn't happen to me. And Halliburton's dad, I'm sorry, man. You broke the rules. You trolled an athlete. You made it about yourself on a series win.
Right. What should have been being celebrated, for your son and the way that he played in that series and the way that the team played. They beat Giannis in Milwaukee. That's a big-time win for the Pacers as an organization. Nobody's talking about that. They're talking about Pops being Shooter from Hooters out there, or Hoosiers, I should say. Not Hooters, but whatever. But Hoosiers stumbling around on the court acting like a jackass, embarrassing your son, man. Did you ever have your parents embarrass you as a child?
No.
No? Mac, did you ever have your parents embarrass you? Maybe they're currently embarrassing you. I don't know.
No.
Neither did mine. One time, my dad, he tried to, hold the chains at a high school football game, and he tried to hop the fence, and that didn't go well.
Aww.
And they're like, "Is that your dad?" I'm like, "No, I don't know who that is."
Like Heisler in the Lambeau lead.
Yeah.
You're like, "Is that your dad?"
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, my parents, I've never really kind of been in that situation other than that. But I remember that one. That was a minor type thing.
Yeah.
You
get over
that. You're in the NBA, and your old man's out there on the court with a towel with your picture on it, standing in front of arguably the greatest player on earth, making it all about you. You deserve everything that's coming for you, man. I'm tired of letting people get away with stuff and everybody just looking the other way and go, oh, he was having a bad moment. He had a bad day. His moral support peacock wasn't available, and so that's why he did that. So we're going to give him a free pass. Nah, kick rocks, pal.
Too strong for me.
And to your defense, foreseeable future is the most vague punishment.
You have no
ever.
idea what that means.
You're
That could be
grounded
next
for
week.
the foreseeable future. You can have your game system back on Sunday.
Exactly.
You know what's going to happen? He'll be back in the building and nobody will even know about it.
Hopefully.
And
that's the way it should have been.
And that's the way it should be.
And then it'll be like, he served a consequence, and now he's going to be fine.
Yeah, but the Giannis conversation
you do the
about
crime,
it,
you
too.
do the time.
where he says, my mom, after we won the championship, didn't know she could come out on the court.
Yeah.
She was allowed out there, and he was talking about all of that. And then you see Halliburton's father. I mean, no, sorry, pal.
They didn't even let Akeem Olajuwon get on the stage of the final.
I know, right? Like that. They don't let Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing in the Garden without proper credentials.
Good thing Rip Hamilton and Rasheed Wallace got a first row seat of the loss last night. Love to see that.
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is One Word on Fescoe and Dusty.
Kentucky Derby weekend, which means we're going to go through some horses, baby, some mudders.
What
it's supposed to be mud.
Mud.
I didn't know what because Beakley just kept saying it. He finally discovered this word. He's like, yeah, Henry Lake, big mudder. I'm like mudder.
They can run it. It's supposed to be wet, I think, at the Derby this weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're good at running in mud.
Yeah. Are these horses mudders? Their mother was a mudder. If their mother was a mudder, then you're going to be a mudder. Apparently, there are 2 horses in this race that are sons of Triple Crown winners, Binkley has told me.
Okay.
Let me see who they
I was
are.
going to say, which ones are they?
Well, let me.
He said 2 or 3.
Let me see again.
I think there's 3.
American Promise and Publisher are sons of Triple Crown winners.
Okay.
And don't forget, go see Lauren buried over there in Prairie Village in the middle of the street.
One word on journalism. That is the favorite horse. Oh. Yeah, not real.
Not
real. You know, we're journalists.
We're not.
According to some that tweet in and want us fired.
Yeah, we're not journalists. We're entertainers. And that's the way I look at it. We're in show business. We're not journalists. We entertain for a living. Journalism dead. Wow, it is. I mean,
He'll be alive this weekend,
I went
tomorrow
to school,
when he wins.
but he's the favorite in the race, so I'll go favorite. That's the horse I'm betting on. I got a degree in journalism, that and toilet paper, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I will go with journalism as my winner.
He's 3-1.
Yeah,
I will go with show.
Okay.
Well, all right.
First place in shows, how they rank horse races. I did my
Win,
homework
place,
last night.
and show, baby.
Bravo.
Yeah. So you got the third.
Show. I got him at 3rd.
That was always we used to go to the track when I was younger. Jersey had tracks. You could go gamble, all that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
$2 to show. That way, if they won all 3, man, that was a big deal. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you knew when that hit because that guy was going, ah!
Yeah, because he just won a $2 show bet that paid him a nickel.
Heck yeah, dude.
And he's got the race form. He's ready.
One word on sovereignty. 5-1.
What is the definition of that word?
Sovereignty is the right to vote.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I did. All right.
So I will say he's the second favorite place.
Hey.
There we go.
Veto. Go away. Don't do it. Go with better odds to win more money. Even though you can't horse race bet in Kansas, DraftKings gave me all the ways to how you can bet on it and what the betting means.
Yeah, and then
Can't bet
Kansas,
on a
you
horse.
can't do it. I don't know. Maybe Missouri will have that when they get the legalized gambling move forward, unless somebody's got a silver box that they're going to complain about. I don't know. What
Maybe
that
on
Jack?
underdog you can.
Yeah,
That's true. One word on Sandman. 6-1.
Enter.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Yeah. ECW. That guy used to hit himself in the head with a beer. Like in the break, go to YouTube and type in Sandman ECW. He'd come out to that song, smash a beer over his forehead until he was bleeding, then chug it, and he came out with like a kendo stick. It was awesome.
Kendo stick?
Yeah. It's like a giant wooden stick that you hit people with.
Damn.
Yeah. Sandman. Oh, he was definitely beer gut, bleeding from the forehead, soaked in beer before he even entered inside the turnbuckles.
One word for you?
ECW.
ECW. Okay. One word on Beza?
Yeah, this interesting is the one that I'll use on this because he just entered the race.
Okay.
He's replacing Rodriguez, who was scratched with a foot bruise.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
So interesting. This
Soon
is
to be glue.
Yeah, exactly. That you're not kidding.
Look at the Elmer's logo, dude.
No, I mean,
it all makes sense when you get older.
These horses get any sort of injury, they're done. It's
Sucks,
over,
dude. I hate it.
So I will go interesting, and he's a 12-1 shot on this one, which means he's a pretty decent horse to have those kind of odds as a replacement. So I'll go interesting on this one.
What's the horse's name again?
Beza?
Beza.
There's also a rapper out of California with that same name. I don't know if the rapper's named after the horse or the horse is named after the rapper.
Beza, one word, Amazon.
There we go.
Is the horse's first name Jeff?
Sovereignty, supreme power or authority.
Oh, it doesn't mean the right to vote.
No, I believe that is suffrage, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
One word on Burnham Square.
Cigarette.
Yeah.
If I have a great Saturday night in Springfield, I'm going to be that horse, Burnham Square, dude. Like, light me up one, as long as it's not a menthol.
Burnham Square. I will say winner.
Oh, going 12-1. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Calling your shot.
I kind of like this one. He won the Bluegrass Stakes.
Oh, okay. That means a lot for me. Okay.
Little bit of history here with this one.
One word.
Kind of on a roll. They've been winning a little bit lately, so.
They're hot.
Yeah.
Publisher. One word. 20-1 is publisher in this Saturday's Kentucky Derby.
I'm going to go books.
Publisher 20-1. Clearinghouse.
Yeah.
Because if you win that, you clear the house.
You do, man.
Clean the
Ed McMahon
drawers,
shows up with a
mop
big
the
check.
floors and stand tall. Because no one's ever been here.
This may be your horse.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Dusty, one word on render judgment, 30-1.
Toby. R.I.P. to the Keith, man. This is Toby Keith's horse. Never got to see it run in the Kentucky Derby because unfortunately he passed away and he left us too soon. Should have been a cowboy.
Is
How
he
do you
really?
like me now?
It is Toby Keith.
Heck yeah, I don't make that stuff
cool.
up.
Oh.
Yeah, Toby Keith's horse, render judgment, 30-1. If I could bet on a horse, I would put $30 on render judgment. Should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith, R.I.P.
I'm going to go with Sooner.
Boomer.
That's right.
Boomer. Yep.
Toby Keith played football in Oklahoma, if you didn't know that, by the way.
Him and what's his name? Stoops. They're boys. Yeah.
Were. And if you don't vote for render judgment, he'll put a boot in your ass because that's the American way.
That is the American
and
way.
They'll light up your sky like the 4th of July.
I love that song. That's a great song. Can that replace the one that they always use now?
Proud to be an American?
Yeah. Can we replace Proud to be an American, please, with that song?
If you don't hear, like, courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
And ready to grab a beer and go kick somebody's ass. Yeah.
Put a boot in someone's ass.
I'm going to tell you, that song doesn't get you fired up. That's the song that needs to be playing instead of that Proud to be an American thing.
FYI, Publishers Clearinghouse just filed for bankruptcy.
They did?
It's according to the tax line.
Oh, wow.
I want my house.
One word on Final Gambit, 30-1.
Ooh.
Long shot.
I like this one's name.
I do too, yeah.
Final Gambit's
Are
good.
you an X-Men fan?
I do like X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
It is from the X-Men comics. I don't know if they're named after that. But.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the new Fantastic Four movie.
One word is fun. I like that name. Final Gambit.
Yeah.
Render Judgment and Final Gambit, both 30-1s. They're the long shots.
They're saying this is the gray horse you're supposed to bet on. I don't know what that means.
Okay, I was going to
thought it was brown.
It says gray/roan horses aren't uncommon, but there haven't been many to win the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, okay.
Only 8 have achieved that feat, with Giacomo being the last in 2005. 20 years later, 3 gray roan horses are set to be in the run for the Roses. Besides having a color in common, the horses are all descendants of Secretariat. Sandman and Final Gambit are 5 generations from the legend, while Chunk of Gold is 6 generations from him, related to Alex. So they're all related to Secretariat.
Okay, I'm kind of in.
5 generations removed from that. Damn. Is that like, people who are bakers use a yeast starter for years. They go, how old is that starter? And some people in Europe will say that's a 120-year-old yeast starter that they've been using the same yeast for 120 years. Is that what we're now talking about with horse?
That's exactly it.
Is that what it is? Like 5 generations? Secretariat is from the 70s. Are we?
Yeah, where's the line? When does we get to 2050? Are we still?
I mean, I don't know. Like 5 generations removed, and Chunk of Gold is 6 generations removed now from Secretariat. That's a hell of That's a hell of a child starter right there, a horse starter, if you will. How long have you been using that horse starter? Well, since Secretariat in the 70s.
That's like horseradish.
As they'd say in Game of Thrones, the seed is strong in that family.
Yeah, seriously.
Which one's Bob Baffert's horse? Because isn't he back?
He's back this year, yeah.
Which one? Because that always seems like an evil story, right? Like,
yeah, he's like the George Steinbrenner, if you will.
Whose horse is his?
Let's see. Binkley has said, go with Baffert's Citizen Bull. He is back from suspension. Or best mutter is Coal Battle, according to Binkley.
Citizen's Bull is Baffert's horse.
Yep.
Bob Baffert.
Citizen Bull.
He looks like he should have played a bad guy, like one of the Bad Boys movies. Coming up, we have the out of left field question. The question is before the break. It is, what athlete had 0 haters during their prime?
Oh, my God.
I have 3. Text line 913-586-7965. What athlete had 0 haters during their prime? We'll talk about it next on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Constantino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. We're kicking things off with a family fun day at every Constantino store this Saturday from 10 to 2. Bring the kids for face painting, balloon artists, caricatures, and tasty snacks like snow cones, popcorn, and cotton candy. Activities will vary by location. Plus, for the next 3 weeks, enjoy the hottest prices of the year in every store. It's been our family's honor to serve yours for 77 years and counting.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents how to hit summer's sweet spot. The new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu is here. And as the official treat of MLB, we're swinging big with our fan favorite S'mores Blizzard Treat. Plus, new mixing bowl mashup with brownie batter and chocolate chip cookie dough. And even more in our Stack Summer lineup. Hurry in today because nothing says summer like baseball and our new Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Summer's better with True Green, especially at a price this low. For a limited time, get 75% off your first treatment and enjoy your lawn without overspending. With True Green, you get expert care and a plan tailored to fit your lawn's needs, so it looks best while you save big. Let the pros handle the hard work while you enjoy the results, relax more, and keep more money in your pocket. A great lawn has never been this easy or this affordable. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com. Restrictions apply.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Looking for the perfect engagement ring? At Shane Company, we know this is an exciting time. It can also be overwhelming. Customers say this a lot. Where do I start? How do I choose? At Shane Company, this is where the magic happens. Since 1929, we've been experts at helping customers find the perfect engagement ring. We invite you into the design process, help you pick out the perfect diamond or colorful gemstone, and choose a style that speaks to you. Come see us in store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The world is turning yellow with dandelions, and that means it's time for Weed and Feed. Weed and Feed is designed to control broadleaf weeds and feed the lawn. Get your Weed and Feed down today.
The grass pads high on grass.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 29 southbound sluggish from the Bond Bridge into downtown. 169 highway southbound slow rolling down onto I-35. 71 northbound slow from 87th up towards Gregory, but pretty heavy before 75th Street. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Final Gambit, according to the text line, is a reference to chess. How dare you bring up nerd comic book stuff, Mac?
It was in the X-Men. I even looked that up, and I'm not a comic book guy, but doing your research, you kind of find out maybe where some of these names come from and what they mean. You type in Final Gambit, X-Men pops up. It's like the first thing. I had no idea about the chess. I've never played chess in my life.
I don't know how to play.
I don't either.
Really?
I do not.
Wow.
Yeah, I do not know how to play. Never have played.
I can play backgammon. Can't play chess.
Can't play chess. Wow. What about Mahjong? Have you ever played Mahjong?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
For sure, yeah.
Really?
My games are what our
Mahjong is like some hard ass old person game. Like they play down at the rec center there on Metcalf and 79th every Friday at noon. So I'm going to Romeo's today because my man Bob DeWitt's speaking, one of the great horse owners in town.
Oh, cool.
Had a bunch of horses that ran at Exarban back in the day. So I always love hearing what he has to say for the Kentucky Derby because he's in the business, right?
Bobby Witt's in the horse race.
He is. Bob DeWitt. Yeah, great man, Bob DeWitt, one of the best of all time. And so a lot of the guys will go from the J on Friday. They go play Mahjong down at the rec center at 79th and Metcalf over there. And so if you want to join them today, feel free to do so.
Sounds great.
Or maybe it's bridge. Either way, it's one of these games that is very complicated. Like Mahjong, I don't understand that game at all.
When you're living in Wyoming and your brothers in Montana, you guys meet up for the weekends. You not much to do. It's Mahjong, it's drinking, it's disc golf, it's
Mahjong for two young strapping lads in the American West.
Yes,
you sat down and played Mahjong.
Yeah, of course.
I almost respect that more than hate on it.
Cribbage, you played too, huh?
Yeah, I was in cribbage club.
You guys played Risk all weekend too.
That was in high school, man.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All right, there's Green Onions, Booker T in the background. That's right. 913-586-7965. Bob Mack as well. What athlete in their prime was not hated?
LeBron. That's pretty simple.
Whoa. What?
You think?
No. I was like, his prime was Miami when he dropped the not one, not two, not
and
eight.
that made me like him
hated.
even more.
Really?
Yeah.
The decision and all that?
Because I didn't find anything wrong with the decision. People wanted to be angry.
Yes.
And so they found a way to be angry. Exactly. He did what was best for himself and also gave a lot of money to the Boys and Girls Club. And that always gets left on the table. And so was it the best thing to do? I don't know. Optics and everything. There's a lot of stuff going on now with Shador in Cleveland, where he's doing all these videos, going to schools and all that. And one of the hosts in Cleveland goes, I wish they didn't show this. We don't need to see this. Just go do this stuff. It doesn't need to be, and then his agent got all mad at the radio host for saying that. If you have to bring a camera with you, you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're just not. Go do it like Taylor Swift does with no cameras and just sings with the kids in the hospital, right? So anyway, where am I going with this one? What was it? Oh, LeBron. I didn't hate that. I didn't hate that. I mean, we all watched. We paid attention. It was unique. It was different. And he was the biggest guy on planet. But no, obviously he has haters.
He did.
I don't know. I don't think there's an answer to that question, Dusty. I know you said you had three, but I don't, because no matter how good you are, everybody's going to take beef with you,
I saw one on the text line, but I'm curious, Dusty. Give us your three.
Barry Sanders, Ken Griffey Jr., Cal Ripken Jr.
I'm deferring to Bob. Barry Sanders is the only one where I can go, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't lie, but I haven't heard one person be like, oh, Barry, blah, blah, blah.
I think the only people that don't like Barry Sanders are the ones that were mad he retired too early.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't get to watch
ex-wife
more.
that he talked about going through a divorce on our commercials.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But like no one was ever like, that effing Barry Sanders. Now again, I didn't really grow up watching Joe Montana play, but I don't really hear a lot of people that have the same energy they had for like Elway or for like Brady or even for Manning that they had for Joe.
I think it was harder to express hate back then because there weren't outlets for people. Like if you go back to the 80s and bring in X, formerly Twitter, into the conversation, I guarantee you somebody hates Joe Montana. You see that probably a lot, right? You probably, like, we were not allowed or didn't have the resources, however you want to put it, to express ourselves the way that we do today, which is not necessarily a good thing. And so maybe you didn't know, like, there were haters out there for people, because how were they going to do it? Write a letter to the editor of the local paper? That was the only way you kind of got to express yourself. So, I mean, who'd you say? Barry Sanders, Ken Griffey Jr.
And
Cal. I'm sure there are people that don't like Ken Griffey Jr. because his hat was on backwards. He was always hurt, and he beat their team. And then Cal Ripken Jr., ask Kevin Costner about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at like a unanimous hate. Like you see people that like, I'm just saying like, yes, obviously like, man, I hate that guy. Keeps beating my team. But it's not like a hatred that's like people hate on LeBron. People hate on Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
People hate on Tom
People
Brady.
hated on Kobe, hated on Shaq, hated on Jordan.
My buddy John says Simone Biles.
Great one.
Yeah.
But nobody hates her?
Yeah.
It's a great one.
If you do, I don't know why.
Jerry Rice from the text line?
Oh, that's an interesting one, too. I kind of like that one.
Yep. Ryan Fitzpatrick is another fun one from the text line. Not necessarily.
I think people hate him now more as a broadcaster because he's out there more than he was as a player. As a player, like, that's a cool dude who went to Harvard, man, and he's living the great life just kind of being a vagabond. And now he's on TV. He's got birds that live in his beard. You're like, what's going on here?
A lot of people are saying Ichiro on the text line.
It's a good one. Yeah, Ichiro.
I never hated Ichiro.
How could you hate? How could you hate Walter?
Yeah.
Sweetness,
baby. Mike Trout is.
Oh, Mike Trout, yeah.
Hurt again.
He is. Somebody said OJ in his prime and Naked Gun. Nobody
You know
hated
what?
him.
Nobody hated OJ until he murdered people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Right. No, it's true. I mean, it really is. Like, OJ was
American treasure.
He was juice.
He was God's gift to the United States. Everybody loved OJ, man. He resonated with everybody. Everybody was a fan. Everybody loved watching him play football. They loved watching him in Hertz commercials. They loved watching him in movies. Oh, he did what? Oh.
Somebody says Roger Federer had zero haters. I kind of believe that. No, he had haters?
No, I mean, those three. If you're a Djokovic guy, you hate Federer. If you're a Federer guy, you hate like those. And then what's the third guy?
What does the NBA got to do with this? Why do we
Roger
hate Jokic?
Federer?
You said Federer, didn't you?
And you said we hate Jokic.
Djokovic. Novak Djokovic. Yeah, Djokovic, whatever you want to say. And there's who's the third guy?
Jimmy Connors.
Oh, Rafael.
Yeah. So if you're a
Jimmy
tennis
Connors.
guy, you like Nadal, you hate Federer.
Yeah, fair. Somebody says Serena Williams. She got a ton of hate.
Yeah, she got a lot of hate.
Yep. She's ruining the game.
I mean, most people get the hate because people are just jealous.
Right.
And that's where the hate starts from.
Somebody says if you define Prime as a quarter of a month hot streak, Jeremy Lin and Lynn Sandy could have been
That's good. Yeah. That is really good. His prime for 2 weeks was
It
wild.
was nuts, though, man. Because I remember I had the article that the guy got fired for how he titled the article.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, dude. Like, that's when I first realized. I was like, okay, racism is still evidently obvious in sports. But I wanted to know about Jeremy Lin.
What do we call it? Linsanity?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that was like for 2 weeks. See what happens when the Knicks have anything remotely good for a hot minute, how it changes sports? Jeremy Lin became a household name in Paducah, Kentucky, which for whatever reason that was on my sister and I's text thread last night we can get to. But you've got people in Paducah, Kentucky, Seguin, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Nevada, wherever. Everybody was dialed in on Jeremy Lin for that 2 week period. If that happens in Phoenix, nobody's paying attention.
Would you say Michael Jordan?
No, God, no.
Okay.
Oh, he had a lot of hate from his own teammate, Scottie Pippen, who's still bitter about it. Good Lord, Scottie, get over it.
Yeah, it's not his fault. His son's with your ex.
Not anymore.
They broke up.
Yeah, they broke up. She's with somebody else now.
She said she had to have sex twice a day, every day for an entire year. That's a
smash.
Okay. One I can't believe we didn't think about. I'm so mad we didn't think about this one. It's the obvious. Keanu Reeves. Nobody hates that guy.
No one hates him,
Athlete,
yeah.
absolutely. Replacements in hardball.
True.
Great one, 913. Hardball will make you cry. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh. Gee, baby, R.I.P.
Have you seen Moneyball?
Yeah, I love Moneyball.
Ruined baseball.
Blake Schneider says, what about Michael Phelps? Well,
People
until he
hated
smoked
him.
pot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When
He was fine. And then I was like, he smokes weed?
Yeah. Who was the swimmer that took a leak down in Brazil or wherever it was, and everybody
Was
lost
that
their minds
Lochte?
over
Yes,
that?
that's
Ryan
Lochte.
Who had the grill?
Total idiot.
He was a dope. Like,
He is a
literally,
dope.
legitimately dumb.
He's dumb.
Yeah, but he was good.
Rob Maloney from the 816. Great one.
Not an athlete.
Well,
I wouldn't mess with him.
Top Tech says, Jim Tomey. You should have heard my dad hear how he talked about Jim Tomey.
Really?
And that's a God-fearing Christian man.
Jim Tomey's one of the greatest human beings on earth.
He just didn't like him because he just hammered the Royals. He'd call him Thome.
My neighbor Jeff texts me, he says Tiger Woods in his prime.
Yeah. The only people that hated Tiger Woods were all the old men that couldn't beat him. And then that one guy that made a super racist comment about his Masters dinner, which I don't remember his name.
Who was it? Was it Fuzzy Zeller?
I think it was Fuzzy.
Yeah, I think it was Fuzzy Zeller.
Yeah, his comments were just...
Yeah, Tiger was loved, man. He was loved.
By many. One game to win. And also, erase my mind. We'll explain what those mean on the other side here. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
It's the spring sales event at Rob Sight Ford, and I'm here with the man himself, Rob Sight. Rob, you already stole the spotlight. Now what are you trying to take?
Just your attention, Kevin, and maybe a few trade-ins. Now, we've got up to $14,000 off new Fords with employee pricing, plus our own dealer discount.
$14,000. That's hotter than your Sunday barbecue.
Exactly. And unlike your burgers, these deals won't dry out. We've got hard-to-find inventory, huge trade-in values, and our non-commissioned sales team makes everything so easy.
No pressure, just real help. Even I'll admit it, it's the best place in Kansas City to buy a car, and I don't hand out compliments lightly, or seconds.
That's a fact. And don't forget, we're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and 0 grill marks.
All right, Rob, I'll give it to you, man. You're cooking up some real value over there.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit robsight.com. But hurry, these deals are sizzling and inventory's moving fast.
And tell him Rob sent you. No guarantees, but he might throw in a hot dog.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 35 southbound slows briefly past 152 with a stall now off to the shoulder. 29 southbound a little slower from 16th Avenue into downtown. 71 northbound slow rolling from 87th up towards Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the shows from your phone, desktop, or tablet. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Back into it on a Friday, 8 o'clock here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey as well. Almost to the weekend. Can't wait. Going to go play golf after the show today. Then I'm going to go to Springfield with Cody and Gold and Drew and 200-plus fans to go watch Caglione play against those awful AA Cardinal affiliates.
Boo!
Yeah. I don't know if, I should, DoorDash Springfield cashew chicken.
Ooh, that's the play. That's the play.
So.
Yeah, that is the play. That's where it was invented, right?
I need your help. Text line. Where do I get Springfield cashew chicken from? What's the place?
Yeah, what is the original
spot?
place? Yeah, you got to get it from the original.
Because how many places are going to be down there? The home of the original Springfield cashew chicken.
Every single one of them will say that, yes.
Because I used to go to Springfield and visit friends at Missouri State, and we would always eat at Mexican Villa. You remember those places?
No.
Oh, there's one on every single corner. And you went in there, it smelled, a little funky. Maybe a little bit of a, Max.
I'd have to go to Springfield to experience that. I've never been to Springfield. That's
Really?
probably a place I will never go.
Home of the biggest Bass Pro.
Yeah. That's where it was invented down there. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
We got one in Olathe now.
Home of Payne Stewart.
Yeah, that's right. He is from there,
And
yeah.
I believe Brad Pitt.
Yep. Brad Pitt from the Ozarks. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Springfield, the Ozarks.
Yeah, it's in the Ozark Mountains, right? Yeah.
I haven't been to Springfield. How do you see that family live down there? We'd go down there once a year and visit them for Christmas. Yeah, so you brought up a question.
I did?
Yep.
Well,
you brought this up. One game to win.
Oh.
You
something else.
have one game to win. Sport does not matter.
Right. Just take that out of the equation.
Yep. Who do you trust more to lead you to victory? Chiefs defense or Royals pitching?
Yeah, who you betting on?
Right now, Royals pitching.
I am too. And I was thinking about this for the last couple of days. This Chiefs defense has been pretty good, right? It's been a defense that you can rely on and get the job done. They've got some new players coming in right now. You need a big stop. You felt pretty good that they were going to get you that stop, right? But there was still a little trepidation at times. I feel like if you're going into October right now, this Royals pitching staff is so good that it's going to limit the opposition. And I feel better now. I can't believe I'm saying that. Going into a game, I feel more confident that the Royals pitching will carry my team to a win than the Chiefs defense will. I'm sure, Mac, you stand probably on the other side of that one, right?
Yeah, I do. Because
Explain.
The Royals haven't gotten a chance to prove it at the highest level, where I've seen the Chiefs with an average to below average offense beat the best teams when it matters because of their defense.
That's a good point.
Last year they won the Super Bowl. Reason number one, Patrick LaVon Mahomes the second. Reason number two, right behind it.
Dude, what in the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah, this guy, we got to fill in for KMBZ. No, it's been going on for years. So this guy fills in for KMBZ, and he runs in a full sprint to the bathroom between every break. And it shakes the entire building. It's unbelievable. And he's wearing flip-flops, too. So he's going to trip. He's running in flip-flops at a full rate to go to the bathroom. Yeah, it's constant. And so, this guy is in the building. You don't even have to look. You could just feel the entire building shake. And he's a thin guy, too. It's not like he's this guy from Florida who was an undrafted free agent by the Buccaneers who lost 27 pounds and is still weighing in at 440, deck chair off the Titanic, pal. But this guy's thin. This guy's thin, and the whole building shakes when he runs by. Can you guys feel it? Does the camera shake like it's an earthquake? Like you guys watching on YouTube? Does the camera move like it's an earthquake when this guy runs by? I've never seen anything like it.
How far does your camera reach? Because he's about to come by again, and just get him in the window.
Can
you reach it over there?
I don't think so. No.
Oh my God!
Dude.
It's rough. Man.
It is the whole.
The first time I was like,
okay,
shakes. He really's got to. But
no, this has gone for years.
Times.
Every time he's in here, he runs and the building shakes.
Maybe it's just the electricity coming back on.
Yeah, no, he went back to the station because he was just because he ran
right
by.
He just ran by.
Oh, he did because
he's
Cody
coming
and I.
Back.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So then he's gone back and forth twice because Cody and I were just walking out of the bathroom and saw that guy, looked at each other and started laughing. We're like, what the hell's going on with this guy? This guy's running in flip-flops and sweatpants 20 feet. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's one of the more mesmerizing things I've ever seen. And the whole building shakes. It's like a 1.0 on the Richter scale in here.
Like if he thinks it's going to take him 4 minutes to rip a piss, he's got to run that fast. I hate to know what happens when he thinks he's got to take it too.
Oh, yeah, right? I mean, my God. And he's not. He's running in there. He's using the urinal. He's running back. I hope he's washing his hands.
That guy sucks. You go to the Royals pitching. Runs allowed, they're third. Hits allowed, 7th. Batting average against, 6th. ERA, 4th. And this is major league ranks.
Yeah.
What this pitching staff has done, and I think that, maybe there's a possibility that, Zumi goes up to Sweeney, the pitching coach, and says, hey, man, where do you want to go tonight? Thanks for having my back. It's been a rough April.
There he goes again. He just sprinted by. Where is he doing laps?
I don't know.
I hope this guy is doing laps.
Is he? Are we?
Next time he goes by, open the door.
Spectrum? Is there a little bit of something in this guy?
A touch, maybe. I don't know.
This is you can't even get into a topic without this guy ruining the show.
It's like Flash running by every time. It's just like Flash running by, but you got to not pay attention to him.
It's hard when it sounds like a Tyrannosaurus Rex is getting ready to take out your car. That's literally what it is. He even runs short-armed. Somebody go out there and put those like tire markers down. They try to stop a high-speed chase, and then he does the fall.
Right, yeah.
You better hurry.
And somebody needs to call over there and ask him why he's running.
Hey, do we have KMBZ's number?
913.
Because isn't our friend Lindsay on right now? Anderson? Isn't she on in the mornings?
Amy Anderson?
Amy. Lindsay's a meteorologist. Sorry, Amy. Isn't she on right now?
Yeah, Amy's on right now.
Somebody get a hold of Amy.
I could text Amy and ask her why her board op is sprinting through the office building.
Can you tell this guy to stop running?
Yeah.
Like, this is insane.
It is nuts. Let me see if I can
find
Amy.
Get her on the air.
Yeah. Amy Anderson. Here you go. I'm just going to do a voice text.
Yeah.
Hey, why is your board op running through the building and shaking it? ?
Sprinting. In flops.
Yeah, in the flip-flops.
You don't need to run that fast. Like, Bob pisses twice an hour, and he's back within a minute.
It's not that hard. No.
Like, he'll literally in the offset give you a peek behind the curtain. Back, how long's this commercial break? 2.5 minutes left? I'll be right back. And he's back before Alan Carr hits traffic.
And I don't run into the bathroom. I walk and sometimes have a conversation and fill up my water bottle.
Ugh, God. I need that one guy that doesn't know how to park. I'd rather have him here than this guy. Good hell. But no, you go back to what you'd rather have.
Yeah, the pitching over the last 10 days or so too has been 1.66 ERA for their entire for their four starters: Lugo, Lorenzen, Waka, and Bubic, and a 2.14 staff ERA. The entire staff is a 2.14 ERA since April 20th. They're pitching unbelievable. Like, I feel so confident right now with this pitching staff. Like, I feel as confident, I shouldn't say as confident as I think Mahomes is going to lead a 13-second comeback, but I feel really confident right now. You get these guys 2 runs in the first inning, and they're going to make it hold up. That's how good they've been, and good pitching is hard to come by, man. And so that's kind of where I am, and maybe I'm caught in the moment, and Mac has some actual, thought behind it, as opposed to me going, this pitching staff's awesome, baby, let's go.
Well, it is.
Because, but that just shows you how good we have it right now here in Kansas City. Like, we're deciding what's better, the Super Bowl Chiefs defense or the playoff rotation for the Kansas City Royals. Like, we're living in a great time, man. It's a great time to be alive.
And it's almost summertime, too.
I know.
Even better.
Yeah.
Somebody says, I bet he runs in place when he pees. And then somebody says he's definitely getting high in the bathroom. You brought up another point that says, erase my mind.
Yeah.
You said you saw a random tweet and started to think about what sports memory you would want erased from your mind.
Yeah, because, I've been seeing a lot recently, and maybe this is just my... what do you call that? Algorithm on Twitter. I've been seeing a lot of stuff with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind movie. And I really do like that movie a lot. I've only watched it one time.
I need to see that. Is that Jim
Carrey?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like first movie or one of them?
It's his first, not like,
funny. Yeah, he's being
movie.
very serious.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
It is a very serious movie, right? And I've only seen it one time, and I think that's enough because it's a heavy movie, but I keep getting stuff in my algorithm about, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And somebody tweeted this out. It's such a random tweet, though. It says, healing isn't enough. I want my memory erased. And I'm like, oh, man, I feel sorry. Like, somebody's obviously going through something very tough. And we've all been through a breakup or a bad time in life or something that you just can't get over. And you're like, I wish this was erased from my mind, right? There are certain things, I'm sure every one of us, if we want to get real heavy, can go around the room and say, hey, I want this part of my life erased, and I don't want to remember any of that. And so I was like, if you could do something like that with sports, what would it be? And I'm sure some people will say Lynn Elliott, and that's low-hanging fruit. What I want to do, and I'm going to try to find somebody who can handle this and do this. I want to take every single person who's a Royals fan over the age of 35, And I want to erase 1994 to 2010 from their minds because everybody watches Royals baseball like we're stuck in that malaise of after the strike and how it's never going to be good. And there are just so many people that can't understand, A, how to watch baseball, and B, how to enjoy what's going on because they had 30 years of all kinds of bad things happening. So I wish we could just go erase the minds of every Royals fan 35 and older to not have that in their past because they rely on it so much. And I think, and I feel like anyway, it's preventing a lot of people from enjoying what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So you'd erase 15 or so years.
Yeah, 16 years.
16 years.
94 to 2010. Just zap it from everybody's memory. You could do the Chiefs for that matter too. I mean, you could probably go from 94 to 2012-ish and erase all of sports from Kansas City's mindset. But I think people have kind of gotten past it with the Chiefs. Like they just now expect it to win, and when they don't win a Super Bowl, people lose their minds, which is fine.
Because if you do that, you don't get to enjoy Neil and Derek.
Yeah, and I kind of thought about that a little bit as well. There were some good things happening with the Chiefs. The Vermeil era, that offense with Priest Holmes was so much fun.
I love
Dick. Yeah.
Also, part of what makes winning so good is the losing.
Yeah.
I mean, losing for years, and it makes the winning that much better.
It does to an extent. Like with this baseball stuff, though, it's frustrating for me. It really is. Like, you've got to stop living like it is 2002 or 2008 or something like that, where the other shoe's going to drop, because I don't believe that this organization is set up to allow that to happen. They're going to continue to push and continue to get good players, continue to spend money, continue to put a good product on the field, because it's a business. They want to make money, and they know that's the way to do it. So I wish we could erase that time period, because I think people would appreciate what's going on now more if that time period was forgotten by a lot of folks.
I have two.
Okay.
One is Burrow beating Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, because then that's gone.
Yeah, that's mine.
over.
You're erasing the whole Burrow, and we're not talking about Burrow being one of the great quarterbacks.
Because then I would like to see what the narrative would be with Joe Burrow, which I still think he's
I like that peel of the onion.
Yeah, I like that I do think he's a top 5 quarterback. But if you erase that game, again, I don't know if the Chiefs go on to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you erase that moment in sports. Do they still hang on to Joe Burrow the way they are today?
I don't think they do. No, because Joe Burrow was, and I think this has kind of worn out its welcome. Drew, he beat Mahomes, and I mean, that's now ancient history in sports terms, right? How many people are on this Chiefs team that were on that team when they lost to Joe Burrow?
What, 5?
Well, it's at least 7, because you got the kicker, you got the long snapper, you got the tight end, quarterback, defensive lineman. That's 5. Bolton, I think, was on that team. 6, maybe 6. It may be that may be just 6 players.
That's insane.
Yeah,
it's exactly what you're saying, though. I mean, how relevant is that now?
Yeah, it is. But we all go back to that all the time. Well, Burrow beat Mahomes. You're right, he did. 100 years ago.
One time. And then lost the next game. He did not win the Super Bowl.
Did not win the Super Bowl, yeah.
And the next.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And the next.
Yeah, right, exactly. It hasn't beaten Mahomes since then, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Then they should have gotten the Millennial Trophy this year, because they were playing really good, but they missed the playoff. Could you imagine they got to play the Chiefs?
Scored so many points.
Yeah, give them a
win
ribbon.
early on. Don't let your receiver be an asshat when he's in the clutch of the game and gets a personal foul because he's a jerk.
Exactly. You want to
But they
108
should
to
play
make
the
the playoffs.
Chiefs in the playoffs because they're a really good team, and they'd be given a competition.
I think they should give the Bengals a waiver and allow them to be in the playoffs every year and have to play against Patrick Mahomes. Thank you, Drew.
Okay. Drew's fine. Drew's fine.
I don't know any other Bengal fans.
That's just 816 has a race. Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. 100. But if you don't, you may not win in 15.
You definitely don't win in 15. You definitely don't win in 15.
Somebody says, Bobby, erase those Royals. Can I at least have my boy Chili Davis? Love me some Chili Day, man. Love me some Chili Day.
He was worth the $5 price of admission back in the day in old GA.
He was our Movon.
God, I miss GA. That was so much fun. We used to take sleeping bags full of cans of beer into the game. Oh, it's just a sleeping bag. We're cold. Okay, go on in, little boys. And there's a case of beer in the sleeping bag.
Coming up, we'll turn 2 for this weekend. Plus, we'll dive more into what these Royals have been doing over the last week, because it's been electric, and it's worth talking about here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Men, here's the truth. In the bedroom, good enough isn't really good enough, is it? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if your erectile dysfunction is making intimacy less enjoyable for you and your partner, give us a call today. Because whether your ED only happens sometimes or all the time, it's time to stop good enough and time to start really good. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. Whether it's only mild or moderate, or even if it's severe, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we have a variety of treatments and can even combine protocols, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in a long time. You could even last up to an hour or more and make sex great again for you and your partner. So make an appointment and be done with good enough. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you.
Constantino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. We're kicking things off with a family fun day at every Constantino store this Saturday from 10 to 2. Bring the kids for face painting, balloon artists, caricatures, and tasty snacks like snow cones, popcorn, and cotton candy. Activities will vary by location. Plus, for the next 3 weeks, enjoy the hottest prices of the year in every store. It's been our family's honor to serve yours for 77 years and counting.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then, place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey hockey fans, ready for the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs? Get in on the action throughout hockey's most exciting time of the year with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Sign up or log in for odds boost tokens and more throughout the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. And that's not all. With BetMGM, you'll have access to countless NHL betting options, including new look same game parlays, teasers, live bets, and so much more. Follow the action and excitement of every goal and every game throughout the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs with BetMGM. Just sign up or log in today, and you'll be on your way to all the NHL action throughout the postseason. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 71 northbound, briefly slow from 75th up to Gregory. Peculiar 49 northbound, slow approaching J Highway. Construction there. They force you to exit, go through the service road intersection. Right now, just about a half mile of slow traffic approaching. Alan Carn, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Theater of the mind. Theater of the mind.
Is this like some workout video from the 90s? And toes, and knees, and toes, and knees, and toes, and knees, and toes. This is what this guy runs by to over here.
Yes, that's it.
I just went and asked him.
You did? Is
I
he
did.
all right?
Apparently.
Right.
I walked into the studio. Cody was like laughing the whole way. He's like, oh, God, Dusty, here we go. And I was like, he goes, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting to the bottom of this. I walked over there and said, hey, man. He goes, what's up? I said, everything okay? He goes, yeah, why? I said, well, you keep running by our studio. He goes, oh, yeah, I've only got 2 minutes to use the restroom. So I went, And I did that like Larry David, like.
I find myself doing that about 27 times an hour anymore. I look at people, I'm like, really?
Yeah, I'm just like, all right. Hoping subtle hints are been given off.
People do not take subtle hints anymore, man. They really don't.
Yeah.
Especially like if somebody offers you gum or a mint, take it. I don't care if you want it or not. There's a reason somebody's offering you that.
Yeah.
Your breath is ass.
Yeah, you got to be a way about it. Like, that's why I went in there. I was like, hey, man, can you stop? I didn't do that. I was just like, is everything all right? Like, is there like am I missing a fire alarm? Am I missing a something? So,
or he could have actually been like sick or something.
Yeah,
this is anytime he's in. This is what happens.
I had the evidence, but I wanted to present it as if like, hey, is everything like hoping he'd be like, is it like distracting? Yes, it is.
Oh, he didn't even ask you like anything like that. No, so he's going to continue to run. Yeah, but there you go.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you can't give a subtle hint because people don't get the subtle hint.
Yeah.
You sure you're going to park like that? Yeah.
Is there a reason?
You got 3 spots here.
Your boy yesterday showed up and he parked just like that in the Subaru.
Oh, did he? Angled yesterday?
Oh, like it was almost like he was T-boning Sam Stevie.
Oh, God.
I'm like, what's the game?
Yeah.
Got a whole ass parking lot over here, just right here. Anyways, so Royals go to Baltimore tonight, 6:05 start. Vern's on deck show at 5 o'clock here. The sophomore album is starting to play the hits. I'll tell you that much.
They really got their second hit playing right now on whatever station.
Yeah. Now, this station, 96.5 The Fans, where they're doing
But we're not allowed to play music.
That's right. So the music to your ears is a 22-game hitting streak for Bobby Witt Jr. The music to your ears on this sophomore album is Michael Garcia. What a hell of a ball player that guy's been this year.
Yeah, Bobby Witt's the first single that gets released.
Michael Garcia 3 on the album.
Markel Garcia is?
No, Bobby is. You always, if you look at the album, the third track was always like, I think, look this up real quick, Mac, if you could. I think the third track on Enema of the State, Blink-182, is What's My Age Again?
Okay.
Which was like the big one until All the Small Things, which I know is song number 8, I believe, on that album. Is number 3 What's My Age Again? It's not. Is it Mutt?
It is Aliens Exist.
Oh, okay.
So
Hey, Mom, there's something in the background.
But I know what you're saying. Yeah. Sometimes it's not the
Normally
first
it was
song.
Song 3 that was like the hit. And that's Bobby Witt Jr., And
he's the second release, I think, right now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. Michael Garcia is the second hit
And
on
Drew
that
Waters
album.
is the deep cut.
He's starting to get there. And now, obviously, Cole Reagan's can have something to say about that. Salvi can, Vinny can. Like, all these guys can kind of factor in. And then all of a sudden, it's Pearl Jam 10, and every song is a hit. And you're like, damn, that was a hell of an album right now. So we've got kind of, I think, one hit, obviously, with Bobby Witt Jr., and then one getting ready to be a hit with Michael Garcia. And those two guys producing for you, it takes away a lot of pressure from everybody else. And all of a sudden, Garcia's starting to do some stuff. Now, Vinny's coming on a little bit more. You got, Drew Waters running around the outfield, hitting close to 300 and doing his thing and whatnot. And this pitching staff continues to give you an opportunity to win every single day. And now it's fun. It's getting to that point now where you score 2 runs early and, I'll send you the text, game over. It's 2-0 in the first. Yeah, this pitching staff is not giving up 2 runs per game. Yeah. So once you score 2 runs right now for this ball club, it's pretty much on cruise control. Now, it's all going to even out as it always does, and the pitching will kind of come back down a little bit. The hitting will get better. But as it's going right now, continue to maximize this and continue to keep teams like Baltimore down. What did you say? They were 12-18 already on the season, Dusty?
Right.
They're already 6 games under 500 where they sit right now, and things aren't going good in Baltimore. They just lost, I think, 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. Go kick them in the nuts, man. Go take 3 in Baltimore this weekend.
Yeah, at least they beat the Yankees. But they also got blasted 14-4 the other day or something like that. It was not good for Baltimore. But yeah, you play the Orioles in their park, 6:05 tonight. Michael Wacha takes the bump. You go up against a guy, Dean Kramer. Yep. He's got a 2-4 record. He's pitched 30 innings this year. Just 7 ERA. His whip's 1.57. I mean,
that's not good.
His whip is Vinny Pasquantino's batting average. That ain't great for him.
Or Vinny.
Right. But yeah, you go in there, Wacha gets to start things off, and then Bubic is tomorrow, I believe. I think that's the way the rotation works. And then Lorenzen would finish the series out. And I think the best part about the Royals is that when you look at their pitching staff, there's really not, oh my gosh, we get to play that Kyle Gibson guy on Sunday.
Oh, we do?
Lorenzen versus Gibson.
Oh, God.
ERA 22.
Kyle Gibson.
His ERA is Bobby Witt Jr.'s hit streak. But, that's the best part about this is, you'll have, teams that you'll play, and they'll be like, well, we got to take game 1 because it's Tarek Skubal, right?
Yeah.
He's pitching game 2, and then it's this guy. With the Royals and opposing teams, there is no, we've got a chance on, Friday because it's Michael Wacha, 3.22 ERA. This pitching staff has been the absolute, cover art for this sophomore album that Vern has called this team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, your hits are Bobby. Your next hit has been Michael Garcia. Your deep cut is Drew Waters. And, guys like Kyle Isbell contribute enough because he's doing what you would want for a Kyle Isbell.
He's quietly having a nice season,
hitting
man.
250, playing decent defense.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be your savior.
And,
right?
if you're counting on Kyle Isbell to be your savior, then we're doing things wrong. And I don't think anybody is. But, he's one of those guys that people get mad at. Oh, Kyle Isbell isn't producing. Well, neither is Vinny.
And then, your bullpen songs, 9, 10, and 11 on the album, you go in there, they're good. They're what you expect. They're closure. They wrap things up. Estevez, Lynch, Urseg, hopefully when Hunter Harvey gets back, he's got it going on.
Mm-hmm.
And all these guys.
Davis, Holland, all those guys.
Yeah. So, when you look at this team, they're close to being complete because now we're hoping to see. Now, again, it's been one game where they absolutely splurged on offense, but you would think that the offense is up. They're no longer 30th. They're now 28th or 27th when it comes to runs per game and batting average and all this stuff because it's starting to have an upward trend. Now, this, I will say, outside of the team not hitting, they are being dealt with the first adversity of the season. Your captain is out. And we don't know the severity. We'll see what Vern has to say tonight at 5 on his On-Deck show. We'll follow Annie Rogers and see what she has to say about the report. Hip injury. I'm a little bit concerned.
I'm very concerned because he's old.
I'm more concerned that, he started getting it right. The team's starting to win and hit again. And then right when you get to that point, it's Salzer.
It sucks. It's a wind out of the sails. When he left the game yesterday, and everybody was like, "Oh, why is Salvi leaving the game?" At first, I thought they're up 7-1, just get him out, right? No big deal to leave him in there. And then you hear about the sore hip, and you're like, "Okay, these are the things you don't want to hear about with an old guy, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And because look, I know you're almost 40 now as well. It's not the same as you were, as you get up when you're in your 20s. And Salvador Perez is playing one of the more demanding positions in all of sports. I mean, you're squatting back there behind that plate for 9 innings a night. I mean,
that stretch at first ain't easy either, man. My sciatica hurts every time he does that.
And then you're running, you're doing all and look, he's a big guy. I mean, he looks bigger this year than I think I've ever seen Salvi look.
What is he, about 6'4", 240?
I mean, 240 may be an understatement, but he's a big-looking dude, right?
Yeah.
And so he's carrying that big frame of his, and then the hips are, what kind of supports all that, and you kind of need those. So I heard that yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to be running around screaming and yelling, the sky is falling, and it may be absolutely nothing. But I know as you get older, it's harder and harder to get up and recover and do all that kind of stuff. And so I think you have to kind of keep an eye on this one with Salvador Perez. Hopefully it's nothing that lingers on, but if it does now, all right, what are we going to do? Somebody's going to have to step it up and be that guy to kind of fill the shoes of Salvador Perez. But hopefully we don't get to that point.
Yeah, this is one of those things where a lot of fans that are, diehard and big followers who I respect and love, they're the ones that have always said, man, I'd really love to see what Freddie Fermin could do with more time.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You're going to get that opportunity. And I love Freddie Fermin, right? I love watching that guy play. I don't know what his numbers are. I don't have a clue. But I know when I see Freddie Fermin play, I smile. I enjoy it. I like watching this guy go out there and do his thing. Feels like a baseball player. He got the socks up. He just feels like a gamer, right? Like you're rooting for that guy. I don't know what he's going to be like as the everyday guy, because sometimes guys that you love are good because they're perfect in their roles. And when you try to change their roles and give them more, it doesn't work as well. And you're like, okay, that guy was better as the fourth infielder or the fourth outfielder, and now he's getting the everyday, and now we can see why he was a good fourth outfielder, and he never was the starter. Hopefully we don't get to that level with Freddie.
Freddie Fermin gives me, like you had just mentioned, Paulo Orlando vibes. Like
Yeah,
a lot
I
of people
think
are like,
you could
I'd
say
like to
that,
see
yeah.
Paulo Orlando play more. And then when he played a lot,
We have
you're
the
like,
Rex Hudler comment on Paulo Orlando.
No. That's been erased from the system.
Has it?
I think so. Because remember when we got hacked and we lost everything? It was
Oh,
part
I
of
think
that.
we brought that back, though.
But Freddie Fermin, to your point with the average, he's hitting 260.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to think what it says.
Which is a good average. That's fine.
Yeah, he's played 19 games. Obviously, the most games have been played 32. So he's played, a little bit more than half the season, but a 260 average. He's going to get some time. I'm still, eye to the wall of the news that will come out about Salvador Perez's his history. So we'll see. I mean, not history, but his injury to the hip, because that is concerning. I mean, that's swing, throw, squat, stretch. It's like everything. And I don't think he's ever had a hip injury. So maybe it's just a little flexor, and it's like, hey, he's not going to be available for the Baltimore series, but we'll rally behind it.
Right.
Which means, Vinny, your ass is playing first base every game. Every game. Because I don't know who would play first base, but I guess you could put Canner or Biggio over there and you could DH on Sunday. But, yeah. I don't know about that. Listener Blair says I'm 5'11" and I'm 230. Salvi is way more than 240.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm about 205, 210, right? And I look at that, I go, there's no way he's 240.
Yeah, I just saw him this weekend. That guy's a big boy.
Who was I thinking about the other day? And I'm like, they were talking about the weight for somebody. They're like, oh, he's like 220. I'm like, no, he's not. He's like 6'5".
Up All Night was song 3 on the Neighborhoods album.
So good.
First Date
Wish we could play it.
First Date was number 3 on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Just can't wait.
Yeah, it's one of the best guitar riffs of all time of their album history. And then Untitled. Let me think if I could see. I don't know off the top of my head.
I could definitely sing along.
No, it's good because you do a Tom DeLonge impersonation, but that's not something that you're going to cover this weekend or turn this weekend as we get into turning 2, things you plan on doing this weekend, fellas. Bob's kind of mentioned already, but what's the turning 2 for one Bob Fescoe?
Well, big weekend. Turning 2 today. We've got soccer, 5 o'clock. We're going to go do that. A little Olathe East soccer going on. And then we've got a graduation party for my friend Barry, who he runs the J, and his daughter's graduating and going on to college. So congratulations to them. And so we got that graduation party tonight. And then on Sunday, we have 2 more graduation parties. My niece is graduating from Olathe East. Way to go, Lexi. So we got her graduation party. Then we've got our Stage Right performance. We're going to get a little corner cocktail burger in between. So
Nice.
very busy Sunday with a couple of graduation parties, stage performance at 7 o'clock, little dinner intertwined. And so we got ourselves a busy suburban weekend.
That's more than 2. That's about 10. That's awesome, man. That'll be fun. What show? Do you know?
It's Stage Right is what they do. It's like singing and dancing.
Cool.
It's a troupe they do there.
That's awesome. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Were you in that as a kid?
No, I was not. No. This weekend, I'm mowing my mom's lawn today.
Oh, wow.
She needs help, so I'm going to go over there, mow that after work. And then, yeah, man, I'm just going to be hanging out. I'm trying to think basketball. Celtics don't play, but I'll still be watching the NBA. There's something else that was on
the horse racing derby.
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby. I'm trying to plan like a fun date night. We've got like lights in the backyard. If it's nice, I may like get some wine, order some food, and may like set up a surprise date for the
Well,
for the
now
lady.
it's not a surprise, you jackass. You just told it to 140,000 daily listeners.
Oh. Did you go to Enjoy yesterday?
I did not. I went to CVS.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry.
I knew it. Support local, dude. Come on. Be better. Do nice things for people. Like me requesting you to go get some kombucha to clear your gut. Go to Enjoy. They have great smoothies. They have
I should have listened
good
to you.
poke bowls. They have good kombucha. They have
Damn, you didn't say that.
That kombucha, man, I'd stay away. I tried that one time. I was telling Mac the story back when we were doing the Beers with the Boys segment. This is when it went off the rails. They brought in alcoholic kombucha. We're like, all right, we're out.
It's like when I bought you that Undenberg to clear your gut. It worked.
It did, but like you weren't doing a segment where you're trying to promote something that people want. Nobody wanted alcoholic kombucha.
No.
Yeah, I don't want that.
So I got this kombucha that has booze in it.
Somebody says Bob's going to be sick of pulled pork by Monday. The most popular graduation. I did my graduation party in the most opposite way. I did brunch.
That's a good one.
I did it because we graduated later in the afternoon. and I had everybody come over in the morning, and we did like sausage biscuits and eggs, and we did quiche and scrambles and like orange juice and
that's a little bit different way to do it.
It was really nice. A lot of people woke up from Saturday night's graduation parties coming to mine, and it was like, oh, you got any food? I'm like, do we have food?
Yes,
come on in. But yeah,
a lot of these are just kind of, you just go in for 30 minutes, you're in and out, move on. You just give them the card. They just want the card. That's all it is. They don't care if you're there. That's the word. I was talking to somebody the other day, like, how much are we supposed to give for these graduation parties? Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the correct amount is. And the person I was talking to is like, we got 30 of these. I'm like, oh my God.
Damn. Lord.
And I guess it's when your kids start to get to that level where they are I was talking to another friend yesterday. He goes, yeah, I hope my daughter's able to come to her own graduation party because she's got so many of these.
Yeah.
And so they literally start right in May at the beginning, and they go, about till the 20th, 25th of May. Like every weekend, there's graduation parties for people because there's so many, obviously, kids graduating. Nobody wants to overlap and do all that. And then they combine them, too. A lot of people do them all together and rent one venue and do it, make it easier that way for everybody to get going to, to the graduation parties and whatnot. So, yeah, graduation party season has started in full effect for us. And I don't know how many of these we have. I just, when the weekend gets here, tell me where we're going and let's go. And so I don't know what the right amount is. I told my friend like 50 maybe. Then he said they got 30 of these to go to. I'm like, oh my God. He goes, we're going to go broke.
That's insane. Yeah, you give $20 at each. That's $600.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what's the time limit that they need to send the thank you cards out?
Oh, within a year, I think is what they say. That's what it is for a wedding.
Yeah, I was told they need to send the cards at least within a week.
Yeah, see, that my parents were very big on that. You write thank you notes and get it done, right? Get it done.
I was at the kitchen table, and I'll never forget this. I was at the kitchen table on my cell phone, and my mom walked in and just put the thank you cards down and a pen and a list and said,
get going.
You got some stuff to do. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Turning two for your boy this weekend, playing golf today, parlayed with possibly going to Stewie McBruce tonight. Patio music is back.
Is it supposed to rain tonight?
I don't think so. Even if it does, that's fine. My guys DJ and Evan John are there. They're very talented musicians. They do very, very good live music. They have their own music. They play requests. Every time I go there, he recognizes me and immediately starts playing Dance in the Dark. No matter what song they're playing, he stops it.
That's awesome.
So shout out to DJ and Evan John.
You know who was in that video?
Yes.
Monica from Friends.
Right. Also, Saturday, got the shirt.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
there we go.
Got the CAG shirt. Cody made sure to get it to me.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm going to look like Violet Beauregard in this, who got the bubble gum and Willy Wonka. Why are you turning violet, Violet? Either way, we'll get there. But no, going to Springfield with the boys to watch Caglione play against those Springfield Cardinals. Ugh. And, hopefully get some cashew chicken and see if Alex Cole will actually eat Springfield cashew chicken.
I don't think he will.
It's basically chicken fingers and a brown sauce. So hopefully,
stretch.
We have to ask him because he's probably already here. We need to ask him if he would eat Springfield cashew chicken.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Have you seen his?
I know.
Styles?
I know.
He's your son, dude.
Yeah.
He's your son.
But you got to try stuff.
Yeah, you got to try.
You got to try stuff. We went to Waldo Thai last night for dinner, which is phenomenal.
I've heard it's great.
It's unbelievable. But they change the menu constantly, and I look at it, I don't know, just bring me something, and it's going to be good. You just got to get out of that pad thai mentality, and just be willing to try something different. Alex, I'm telling you, as your father, do not pass on the Springfield cashew chicken. I'll never have it because I'm probably never going to Springfield. I can honestly say I don't know that I'll ever be in Springfield. There's no reason for me to go there. But if you're going to go down there, you got to try what's no matter where you are.
We tried beignets in New Orleans.
Right. You go somewhere, you try what they're known for.
Yeah.
You have to. Oh, that's a tourist attraction to go to Cafe Du Monde. I don't care.
You're going. Because you know who was there? Maggie Sajak. The love of my life.
And it's fried dough. I mean, so you go, right?
Yeah, I felt bad after I ate the first one because Bob's like, well, and I was like, tastes like funnel cake. He's like, well, yes, but it's in a square form.
Right, yeah.
I was like, sorry, I know.
You don't have to like it, but you need to try these things.
I wish I would have gotten that iced coffee. That's my biggest
that iced coffee. I'm going to tell you, there's not a better iced coffee.
Well after that. It was not saying you were being an ass. Just you got that coffee, you're like, what do you guys want to do now? I'm like, damn.
Well, I mean, it's 11 o'clock. You're up since 4. I mean, it's the middle of the day. You're ready for bed, and you have that iced coffee at Cafe Du Monde is the best iced coffee I have ever had in my entire life. I even got one at the airport when we were leaving, and it's phenomenal. It was like the greatest coffee I've ever had. Like, I can't talk enough about it. And you can never make that at home or anything
Mac
like
and Jen
that.
spilled ketchup all over the floor.
Well, Mac and Jen were sitting at the airport like children eating their Burger King on the floor. Mac was like right at home because he's young. My wife's sitting like, what are you doing with your mother?
Yeah, Jen was like, what do you want to eat? I was like, okay, double cheeseburger.
Oh, what a sweetheart. Oh, what a sweetheart. Oh, that's great. Well, he hasn't ran yet.
Yeah, so people who go to like to Texas or whatever, like, I'm not trying the barbecue there. How do you know you're not going to like it?
Yeah.
Oh, if I 100% went to Memphis, I would get the barbecue.
You have to.
Good.
You go whatever they're
really
famous for, wherever you go, you get.
Someone says, how is there no Springfield-style cashew chicken in KC? There used to be at a place called Master Walk. They have an order of it you can get. It's Springfield-style cashew chicken. Now, I know there's one in Greenwood. There used to be one in Independence off 291 and 40 Highway. It's not there anymore. Now I think it's like a Mexican restaurant. But Master Walk did have a Springfield. So it wasn't the same. Still close, but it wasn't the same. But, yeah, we'll see if Alex Gold will try it. I'm interested. Plus, there's a Buc-ee's in Springfield. Never been to a Buc-ee's.
Oh, dude, you got to go.
Do I make Gold? Do we stop?
Yes, you have to
Because I already told Gold Sunday morning.
Is the Buc-ee's open?
I don't know.
I don't think it's open yet, is
Somebody
it?
says they have killer breakfast. It may not be Hy-Vee's breakfast.
Sunday morning, that's it, brother.
Because I told Gold, I was like, we're waking up at 8:30. We're out. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm totally fine with that. I don't care if Cody's still snoring. We're hitting the road, Jack, and we're not going back.
Yeah, the earlier you get up, the better it is. You don't want to be down there all day.
Yeah, they're open.
Yes.
Oh, they are open?
They're open, baby.
Do you guys want a Buc-ee's shirt or anything when I come back?
I've already got one.
Oh, cool. Sweet. I'm going to
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just trying to do nice things for people. Bob left the garage last night and started talking about mascots fighting each other. We'll just see who wins on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, Underdog just became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their Extender promo. With the Extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. And to play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. You can choose from things like points, assists, and so much more. Or you can even combine entries in one entry like I do across different sports and play baseball entries, basketball entries, football entries, all in one, and you can have the time of your life. And it's available now to play in the state of Missouri. And once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app now and sign up with promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. With promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then, place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 70 westbound slows briefly around 18th Street over towards Prospect. I think mobile road work may have set up there on the right shoulder. 71 northbound slow rolling from 75th Street up towards Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Gold today. If you missed it on social media, he pulled that rarity Caitlin Clark gold card, rookie card. Caitlin Clark in action on Saturday. I'm sure we'll be talking about her on Monday. She's back in action. Can't wait to watch her.
A lot of great stories around Caitlin Clark going on this weekend. They play up in Iowa this weekend in an exhibition game that's being televised, and people are paying $500 a ticket to get in. You tell me, Caitlin Clark. And then the WNBA basically banned one of the players that doesn't like Caitlin Clark out of the league. She's no longer in the league, which I think is good. Don't mess with the franchise.
Jayhawk for Life is telling me I should absolutely go see Buc-ee's.
You should. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
My buddy Matt and Drew almost simultaneously were saying that I have to try the Never Nuggets.
Yes, you do.
Are those like corn nuggets?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're good. They're good. And the Buc-ee's nuts.
But it's okay.
Buc-ee's nuts,
the one that we went to in Texas had like this big, do you remember Genghis Khan over there at 39th and Bell, basically? And they cooked that big grill and whatnot with the big sticks and, the Mongolian barbecue type stuff. Yeah. They had that with like barbecue on it down there in Texas, like a big grill like that, cooking I don't know if it's the same, in Springfield or whatever.
Because to fit your knowledge, like you go to Springfield, you got to get the cashew chicken.
Right.
You go to Texas, you got to try the bar.
Right.
Go to Buc-ee's, I guess I got to live up to it. I got to try what they're known for. If it's the Never Nuggets, you got to get them.
Yeah.
But Drew's like, the only downfall is Drew's like, the place is huge. The lines are even bigger.
Even
and I was
bigger.
like, oh, no.
And that's the thing. Yeah. You get in there and you see the lines. You're like, I don't really need this. I want to get the hell out of here.
It's a little overstimulating, but they've done a good job when I've been there getting through it.
It's quick. Like
it's not Quick Trip. It's not Chick-fil-A. No.
Yeah, maybe I got to get it. I guess I got to get a Buc-ee's shirt.
Yeah, Buc-ee's shirt's good.
Monday.
Yeah,
Jayhawk for Life took his kids there for Christmas. I go, that's a hell of a Christmas gift.
Great Christmas gift,
run the
man.
store, get whatever you want.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, like what's the longest you've been in a Buc-ee's? 913-586-7965.
Half hour.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
give yourself a half hour. Yeah, I mean, by the time you park and walk around and look at it and see, I mean, you know how it is when you get Oh, look, they're cooking this or they're doing that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, And there's supposed to be one opening out by the new Arrowhead at I-70 and KCK.
Yeah, they said
coming up in a couple of years.
Somebody says they're called beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets.
That's it. Beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
Beaver
we just
nuggets.
that's
But it is like
913
corn or something.
says we just broke ground for the Buc-ee's at KCK.
Oh, they did. Okay, the ground's broken already.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. Dusty, Bowl, Springfield have Surfside lemonade or iced teas for you this weekend. Absolutely. They'll be packed in the car, ready to go. They'll be on the golf course today as well. Bucky's mascot is a beaver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beaver or Piggly Wiggly?
The beaver would win that
Big
one.
teeth.
Yeah, beaver is the
Big
hardest
teeth.
working animal in the environment today.
And they don't give a damn what you have to say.
They really don't know, and they will. They're the hardest working animal out there, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but the Braves mascot Blooper and the Philly mascot, the Philly Fanatic, are going to be in a boxing match, a 3-round boxing match. It's going to take place May 27th at Citizen Bank Ballpark.
Big nose on that Fanatic.
Yeah, huge one. Yes, I love the fact that the mascots are going to box. Like this is where we are right now, right?
Great.
Mascot boxing contests, and nobody's going to beat the Beaver. We all know that from Greg Robinson days playing for the Beaver, and Ned will come on and talk to you about the Beaver. Anytime you want to talk Beaver, call Ned, because he's got those Beaver on his land, and they build the dams and they work hard and whatnot. Like I think Ned loves the Beaver. I really do. Ward did as well. He was always hard on the Beaver, but so the Beaver is the hardest working animal out there. So that Bucky's Beaver is going to beat the snot out of anybody, man.
Yeah. KC Wolf or Mr. Slugger?
It's a tough one for me.
it
Yeah,
is.
I think Slugger's the king of the jungle, right? He's the lion. Wolf's a wolf. I think a lion beats a wolf.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you.
But unless he gets that big belly out there and knocks Slugger down with that big belly
True,
like he
that
does.
he whips
Crazy
that around.
Or what if he rides out the ATV and runs over him like we do with Raider fans before the game?
I'd be rooting for the Wolf. Hannah was having a crush on Slugger Saturday night. Yeah, she thought he was cute. Yeah, I know. It's
Did
my
you have a
competition.
conversation with him?
Yeah.
I mean, if your competition is Slugger,
Bob
I think
looks
you're
so
doing
weirded
just
out
fine.
for some reason.
Has she smelled Slugger in
I
August?
just hear my kids talk about these furries all the time at school. Oh, that
jeez.
person's a furry, and now your girlfriend, fiance's in love with a mascot?
No, it's normal.
Remember that picture?
Steven Serted, I remember that all too well.
Oh, my goodness.
Vip says, the hell with Bucky's. Come to Chicago and go to Wrigley Field. Still planning that trip, Vip, I promise.
It's two different things. It's like you can go to Bucky's and go to a game at Wrigley, Vip.
Then he goes, what the hell's wrong with Bob? He's off the rails today. It's Friday, dude.
It's also when you text me things like, do you have any other listeners in Vegas? Yes, we do. We have listeners in all 50 states and Guam.
Yeah, that Wynn guy loves this show.
Yeah.
I think.
Steve.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Give me Casey Wolf because I grew up in the 90s when he was coming out on the ATV
That's right.
and tackling his friends that were dressed up in like a Raiders costume. It was the greatest
We
moment.
can't do that anymore. It's too violent in
That's right.
2025. We got to be nice to people.
Yeah, I used to love that so much.
That was
Going-
the best.
Oh man, he come out
Slam
of that
down
tunnel.
the mountain. So fun.
And then give you that pelvic thrust.
Yeah.
And I have a lot in common with Casey Wolf because when I've had too many, my eyes look very similar to Casey Wolf's.
Yes, they do.
You saw that in New Orleans.
Yes, I did.
Yes. Yeah, like, is Dusty
The
here?
hell, is he alive?
Yeah.
Is that the
Dusty's
mayor?
that night at Sneaky Pete's, Dusty is no longer with us, and we have documented proof.
Yeah. You were lucky you missed a lot of that.
Oh, I remember all of it. You talk about sports memories you want to take out of your memory.
Yeah.
Maybe the Super Bowl.
That game, yes. Yeah.
Benny the Bull versus Rocky the Mountain Lion.
Oh, I think the bull goes over a Rocky Mountain Lion because the bull can just continue to go and go and go and go.
Do they let that bull go into stadiums unlike Bevo?
Yeah, they
Okay.
do. Yeah.
Is Bevo a bull or a
Yes,
steer?
he's a bull.
Oh,
Yeah. He's a longhorn, actually.
Tiger or the Wildcat?
Are we talking about a wildcat with just like a head and a human body?
With the buff arms?
Yeah, then the tiger is going to beat the wildcat in that situation. Can't K-State afford the rest of that mascot?
Trivia question, Mac. What is Missouri Tiger's name?
Truman.
Thank you, Mac.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you know who he's named after?
A steer, by the way. Bevo's a steer.
Oh. Do you know who Truman the Tiger is named after?
No.
Really? Missouri?
Harry
President?
Truman?
There you
Yeah, I
go.
was gonna say, that's the only name that came to mind. Harry Truman. Didn't want to say that and sound dumb.
Could have
No,
said
you-
Bess.
Sometimes the dumbest answer you can think of is the right answer.
Yeah, I was like, the only name that comes
it's
to
like
mind, Harry
watching
Truman.
Jeopardy. You're like, just, yep, do it.
Do you know what
It's-
the S in Harry S. Truman stands for?
Shut up. Is that it?
No?
No, what is it?
Do you know?
I don't.
It's just an S.
Oh.
Doesn't stand for anything. It's just a middle initial.
Nice.
Yeah, Hannah has that. Yeah.
What's your middle name?
James.
Oh. Mac and Maureen, James?
Malachi James.
Okay. What's your middle name?
Joseph.
Okay. That's a very, prestige. Like, if you didn't do radio,
Joseph.
you would not be Bob Fescoe. You'd be Robert Joseph Fescoe.
He's friends with Walter Pennington.
Yeah. Mine is Curtis, named after my father.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And
That's
I knew I
awesome.
was in trouble back in the day when I heard Dustin Curtis Likens.
that's
I was
it,
like,
man.
oh, crap.
Oh, I'm in trouble when my wife says Bob.
Oh.
Oh, that's how you know? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's true, yeah. If Hannah says Mac, that's not good.
She says my name. I'm like, oh, no.
Because what, normally it's a love language name, like
Yeah, honey, babe.
Or just come here.
Or
Hey,
just, hey,
yeah,
yeah.
whatever. Or,
Or if she's like, how was your day? Cougar chow.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, I don't know.
Damn it.
Slugger.
Is she still in that stage where she listens to the
Exactly.
show and thinks it's
No,
real?
gosh, no.
Oh, thank God.
Never happened.
I mean, I had to
Yeah.
tell my wife years
She's a
ago,
real one.
hey, come on, this is show business, man.
The only thing she
As far
didn't
as
know,
you know.
yeah, the only thing she didn't know is that I was 37.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She's
I was like, thank
"That's
you."
it, Really?
Yeah, that's because the frat boy is still alive.
It is.
Yeah. Coming up on the other side, it's our favorite segment on a Friday. It's Richard of the Week. 913-586-7965. Maybe you have one. Richard of the Week next on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're headed out of town, you need to go visit my friends over at Park and Go. That's where you need to park for a number of different reasons. Number one, their customer service is fantastic. You talk to the Park and Go employees, they love working at Park and Go, and it shows. They're always smiling, they're always helpful, and they're always excited to get you to the airport in plenty of time, because that's what they do at Park and Go. Once you park your car, that van shows up right behind your spot, and they take you right to the airport terminal in no time at all. You're there relaxed and ready to go. When you get back, just grab your bags, walk outside, jump on the Park and Go bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car. And when you get back to that car, you know there's not going to be any snow on it. There's not going to be any sun damage, because every spot is covered parking at Park and Go. So make your reservation immediately after you make your flight reservation at bookparkandgo.com or with their easy-to-use app. And make sure you prepay, because you're going to save a ton of money when you do it that way. Join their frequent parker program like we did and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, junior hot and crispy fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Lowe's helps refresh your garden in time for Mother's Day. Right now, get 5 bags of 1.5 cubic foot Scott's Naturescapes mulch for just $10. Plus, select 1.5 gallon annuals hanging baskets make the perfect gift. Now 2 for only $15. The best garden starts with great deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/7. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase.
Constantino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. We're kicking things off with a family fun day at every Constantino store this Saturday from 10 to 2. Bring the kids for face painting, balloon artists, caricatures, and tasty snacks like snow cones, popcorn, and cotton candy. Activities will vary by location. Plus, for the next 3 weeks, enjoy the hottest prices of the year in every store. It's been our family's honor to serve yours for 77 years and counting.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side 70 westbound slowing past 31st Street over towards Van Brunt. Mobile road work has cropped up once again, now blocking the 2 left lanes. 71 northbound slow rolling from 75th up towards Gregory. Allen Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Cole Riggins, and this is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Royals baseball.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Some more helpful text coming in. Dusty, grab the brisket breakfast burrito at Buc-ee's. Brioche.
Yeah, sounds good, right?
I do have a 2-hour and 35-minute drive home. I hope I can make it, especially after what we'll partake before and after the game on Saturday to go see Cags in Springfield. Somebody bringing up some more, some more mascot fights. The werewolf or a vampire?
The vampire, because it will bite you and just suck all your blood out.
Mel Kiper. Come on, man. The werewolf's strong guy. Werewolves are nice guys. Going back to the old days. Used to be called the Dirty Werewolf. We retired that name 2 years ago on After Hours. And then someone also brings in, for mascots of Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey Show, Rob Maloney or Jay Binkley?
Well, Maloney would kick Binkley's ass.
Jay?
Jay's not a fighter. Jay's not a fighter. Maloney, he owns bars.
Yeah.
The guy's been in a couple of scraps.
Ask Jay about Neil Jones.
Well, that's different.
Okay. Neil Jones or a breakfast burrito from McDonald's?
Breakfast burrito from McDonald's.
No, it didn't stand a chance from what I saw. That guy looked like Joey Chestnut that day. But it is time for Richard of the Week. You growing boy.
Oh, Richard, I'm so happy. Hold me. Richard of the Week.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Richard of the Week, sponsored by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part is 0 bubbles. Bob, what airline is the Richard of the Week this week?
It is Southwest Airlines this week.
Exactly.
This one's been percolating for a week.
Richard Air.
That's right. Yes. Richard Air. Here we go.
Richard Airlines. Go ahead.
Ears weren't the only thing popping on a Southwest Airlines flight Saturday when one passenger allegedly stripped naked and pooped on her seat, according to NBC5 Chicago.
Oh. Ouch. On the plane.
That's right. I like that. Like
Southwest's fault.
Well, it's not Southwest's fault at all, but
Just
I mean,
the passenger.
it's the passenger. Yeah. I mean, this is why let's raise the prices where people who poop and take their pants off can't afford to fly. I'm fine with that, right? We don't need people like this flying. According to a statement from Southwest Airlines, Flight 418 from Philly to Chicago was met by a law enforcement and medical personnel who responded to a situation involving a customer. A source with knowledge of the situation, other passenger probably, passenger had removed her clothing and removed her clothing and defecated on the seat, forcing the plane to be taken out of service for cleaning. Our teams are reaching out to those on board to apologize. Imagine if she's in that middle seat and you're sitting on either side of this woman who just decides to take her clothes off and poop on the seat in the middle of the flight. Southwest announced this month it will reduce capacity later this year and expects revenue to dip. Well, I can't imagine why. So that's my Richard of the week. This woman who decided that, the airline was her toilet and just took her pants off and pooped on her seat.
Good hell. Oh.
People suck, man. They really do.
That's brutal. Mackie,
locked, cocked, and ready to rock.
If seats had toilets.
Dusty, you can go next, brother.
All right. Mine is J.J. Richard.
That's fitting.
J.J. Redick, man. Richard of the week. For multiple reasons. One, you got the job. Your buddy, who you sip vino with and do a podcast with, pulled for you to be this coach. You buckled under the pressure once again. Hearing Nick Wright yesterday talk about what he said to think about J.J. Redick, clutch moments, not J.J.'s biggest moments. College and March Madness games, not the greatest at times. Lakers, not the best at sometimes. And then he goes on record as saying, we've got to get into championship shape. That is 100% a shot at the future of your franchise, who you were gifted in Luka Doncic.
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
They ought to fire him.
He said they need to get in more championship shape, and that was a direct shot towards Luka Doncic, where we get a lot of, bad, evil texts and tweets from people, and we have one of two options: ignore it or address it. J.J. Redick and everybody in L.A. has all, we've heard it in the Midwest. Luka's fat. Luka's out of shape. Luka's this. Could he be in better shape? Possibly. But it's not your coach, who you're supposed to go to war for, joining the crowd and being part of that noise. Have your teammates back, because what are you going to do? You're going to find yourself losing all credibility, all respect of your teammates. And if it is end of time.
Did he have any of that, do you think?
Yeah, LeBron. And maybe he had people's, respect, maybe. But like when you join the crowd of negativity and let it be part of your now faux pas of your team, like J.J. Redick, that's a Richard move. Like, you got to be like, hey, I've got to be better. I've got to get this team more prepared. I've got to get better in the playoffs and be more precise. Because what do we say all the time? Managers in baseball are irrelevant to the playoffs, and once the playoffs start, managers become very important. It's kind of the same with the NBA. Like, 82-game schedule, coach isn't really going to be a key factor in that. We looked at Tibbs the other night when they lost the game because he didn't get Brunson and those guys in.
Yeah.
That then they go to a timeout, he draws them a play. That was all coaching right there. Draw a play where you can see the weakness and get an open shot. They hit the three. J.J. Redick, Richard of the Week from One Dusty Likens. You've got to take ownership. You've got to be a coach. This showed immaturity. This showed like you're going towards the masses and not sticking to your team. Because how many times do we see when Patrick Mahomes was losing games because his receivers were dropping the ball? I've got to put my teammates in a better position.
Well, he's not a leader, J.J. Redick. Leaders give everybody else the credit and take all the blame. And that's what leaders do. That's what you do in that situation, right? Mm-hmm. When things go good with your company, your boss better be crediting everybody that works at that company. When things go bad, that's his or her fault. That's what leaders do. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not a leader. And J.J. Redick, like fighting with the media before the game, this stuff after the game, I don't know that J.J. Redick is necessarily a leader. He could be a coach, but he's not going to be a leader. You need to be a leader if you're going to be the head of an organization.
They did have a pretty good season, to be fair to J.J. Redick.
Is he still going to win Coach of the Year?
No, he was never going to win Coach of the Year. I think
he was the favorite for a while.
How do you not win, or how do you not have a good year with LeBron in the end? It's the NBA with LeBron. I mean, I could have had a good year. Now you're in the playoffs.
No. This team has missed the playoffs. They've been first round exits. They don't have a bench. They don't have a center, and they were the 3 seed in the West.
You still have arguably the best player on planet Earth in LeBron James, and then you got the second best player in Luka out there. Like, you got to do better than that.
Thought they did pretty well.
Nobody remembers first round losers.
No, yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have made the first round if it weren't for J.J. Redick.
But maybe if LeBron actually let a real leader in there to be the head coach of the team instead of trying to be the boss of everything all the time, and brought somebody in that would hold people accountable instead of just being a yes man for LeBron James, maybe they would have better outcomes, and maybe he'd have more championships.
Well,
do you think Phil Jackson was
Richard of the week because he's holding someone accountable?
No, but he's not. He's not holding them
the
accountable in the right way.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a way to do things behind the scenes. In front, Dusty's right. You got to accept the blame. It's on me, man. I'm the coach. Everything runs through me. You don't go out there and say we need to be in better shape.
Yeah, I'm with you. JJ's made mistakes, no doubt, and some of them were substitution related for sure and on the floor. But I'd still say he overachieved with that roster. LeBron James is my Richard of the week to stay close to the Lakers. Because they ask him about, playing center in this series, and he's like, well, no comment. My guy AD said something, and then he was gone the next week. Kind of like also poking against his guy Anthony Davis, who didn't choose to be traded, and then also poking against his organization. And it's like, you got Luka Doncic, man, and one of the biggest fleeces of all time. Like, I know you don't have a center, and it sucks, and that is their fault.
When did the NBA get back to a center league?
It's shifted quickly. It's like running backs in the NFL. You need a big man.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, need a big man.
Because that's everybody's fear for Golden State.
Yep, no rim protection.
If they've got to go into the next round and play, who is it? Clippers.
Oh, they'll play Minnesota. They'll play Ant-Man.
Who beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
And now Rudy Gobert could be, over rebounds every single game.
Yes.
And the number will be at like 13.
And there's no one in the paint to stop Anthony Edwards from rising up and slamming. So, yeah, that'd be mine. LeBron, that whole Lakers organization does need some accountability.
Why LeBron, though?
Because he called out front office.
Because he called out front office.
Frustration, AD. Yeah. Like, dude, you got Luka Doncic in the biggest fleece ever. Sorry you had to play center.
Yeah. It is what it is. Richard of the week. Lady takes a dump on an airline. JJ Redick calls out a guy for being fat. And again, I don't mind him saying we got in better shape. But that's, I think, something you do, like Bob said, behind closed doors.
I agree. Oh, I agree.
And I don't think that because that's an easy, it's low-hanging fruit to the media.
Oh, of course it is.
No, I agree. I just wanted to give him his flowers where it was due. I thought it was a good year overall for JJ.
Because the text line says, so a coach calls out a player for being out of shape and JJ earns Richard of the week for that? Maybe Luka needs to think about actually doing that for the first time in his life and playing defense. # soft body.
But how do you think
and then I got
you're
called wolf nuts again.
How do you think you're going to get the most out of somebody? Do you think you're going to get the most out of a player or a person? Like, think about you and your life, okay? No matter what you do for a living. You're at a meeting with your office, and the boss gets up there in front of everybody and says, Steve, you suck, man. You haven't been doing squat around here. Everybody's been pulling weight for you. You're awful. And I'm not talking about Spectre. I just made the name up, Steve, right? And you get called out. Is that going to make that guy work harder? Is that going to make you? No, you're going to immediately go look for another job. You're going to check out, and you're going to say, F you, man. I'm out. I'm going to go do something else, and I'm going to find a place that wants me. Now, if you pull that person aside behind the closed doors and say, hey, I know you've been struggling a little bit. What can I do to help? Like, you've got to approach this differently. You've got to approach things with kindness and compassion, and that's the way the world is now, like it or not. Back in the day, bosses used to rip people and tear people down. That doesn't fly anymore. People are not motivated by fear. They're not motivated by people getting in their face and yelling at them anymore. They check out, and especially NBA players. Luka Doncic earned more in that game than JJ Redick probably made all year. Why is he going to listen to this slappy, right? We're not going to listen to you, okay? I'm not going to listen to you, but you do it the right way. You handle things the right way. Then you win those players over, man. This is not a hard thing to do, but these dopes that are in professional sports let their ego get in the way so many times, and so many people have their undoing because of their GD ego, as opposed to just checking it and doing what's best and what's right. And JJ Redick will be gone before you know it, too. Back to doing his podcast.
I just saw on the hater report on X, it says Cade Cunningham with the Detroit Pistons season on the line. It's a picture of Eric Andre.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he was so good. That's too bad. People close to LeBron James aren't ruling out the possibility of him finishing his career elsewhere, per The Athletic.
Say that again?
Just came out.
They're not worried?
They are not ruling out the possibility of him finishing his career elsewhere.
Oh, Shams said something he was coming back, I guess. But when's his career going to finish? This is getting Aaron Rodgers. Like every year a basketball season ends, and we got to talk about if LeBron's coming back.
Difference is LeBron's good.
Well, yes, but still, I mean, he's as narcissistic as Aaron Rodgers is. Put them in a room together, they'll talk about themselves. That's what Ross Tucker. I give Ross Tucker a lot of credit too on Good Morning Football, saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to play; he just wants the attention.
One last Richard of the Week. This one's deep. From the 816. Richard of the Week is my now ex-boss's boss who tried to hook up with my wife last night at a bar until I walked in and found out. He ran out like a cheetah, but I got a few shots in. Oh, boy. Good thing he's not your current boss. So there you go. Then somebody says my current boss still cusses people out weekly.
Yeah,
It also has the ability to give your flowers.
Yeah, but that's I've worked with people like that. That guy sucks. Beat that ass. That's called bipolar. You never know what you're going to get when you go in on a day and what that person's going to be like, and you're on eggshells the entire time. F that guy.
I thought that was a box of chocolates. That is the Richer of the Week, brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka, proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Royals and O's tonight. Keep the train going. And Bobby Witt going for a more historic pace with that hit streak. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Heartland Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Constantino's food stores are celebrating 77 years of serving Kansas City. We're kicking things off with a family fun day at every Constantino store this Saturday from 10 to 2. Bring the kids for face painting, balloon artists, caricatures, and tasty snacks like snow cones, popcorn, and cotton candy. Activities will vary by location. Plus, for the next 3 weeks, enjoy the hottest prices of the year in every store. It's been our family's honor to serve yours for 77 years and counting.
Today, expect rain showers followed by showers and thunderstorms with a high of 66.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Back at it Friday morning here on Fescoe and Dusty 96.5. The Fan, Mac Morey as well alongside, getting you ready for the weekend as the Royals open that 3-game series in Baltimore against the O's. I keep scrolling through X and I see more and more about the game last night featuring Jalen Brunson and his teammates beating the Detroit Pistons and that team and watching them go down in flames. And I sent this guy to you in a text, but I was just thinking about this. You know, we're fortunate that we do not have a team in the NBA or NHL because I don't know that any of us could afford it. Imagine a playoff run in the NBA, 4 series, 4 games, 16 more games that you got to pay for, man. How do people afford to go to all of those playoff games? If you make a deep run in the NBA or the NHL, you're thinking like you're going to pay for 16 extra games? I mean, I know how bad it is trying to get 2 tickets to go pay for 2 tickets to an extra Chiefs game or something like that, let alone going out there and paying for 4 games in one series, 4 games in the next, 4 games. I mean, like, and I know they spread that money out and you can pay towards next season, but even still, I mean, coming up with that extra money, man, that's got to be brutal. I mean, how the hell do people afford doing this kind of stuff?
16 games, it's around, $350, $400. That's an extra $6,000.
Somebody said to me, like, oh, it's corporate tickets. I'm like, no, not in the upper rafters. And people have season tickets and things
rowdy
like that.
fans.
Yeah. Obviously there's some corporations involved, but they're not footing the bill for everything. But if you're Joe Q Public, man, and that playoff bill comes for an NBA or NHL team, you're like,
Like you watched that Knicks game. There were some rowdy New Yorkers there last night at the Garden.
Yeah.
They were ready, man.
Yeah,
I guess that was at Detroit. They lost at Detroit. But there were some rowdy Detroiters.
Yeah, there were rowdy New Yorkers there the night before. I mean, and that's just the way it's going to be. It's not all corporate suits. The good seats usually are, but I mean, just to think about that, it's hard enough to pay for 2 Chiefs playoff games or a Royals play. Even when the Royals were doing it in 14 and 15, you were asking a lot because you had the wild card game the first year, then you had the division series the second year, which I guess was only really 1 game, right? Because you beat Anaheim in 3, and then you had the ALCS, which was 2 games here. So we got very fortunate. We didn't have to spring for all of those games because it could get very expensive footing the bill. But that's what the owners want. They want Game 7 series with the guarantee that you're going to advance to the next round because they make cash.
Loved a Game 7 of Detroit and the Knicks. I understand Knicks fans are like, no, but it would have been in the Garden, Game 7.
Would have been awesome, man.
Win, it's good. Loss, it's good.
I was talking to a buddy of mine last night who's been he's a diehard New York Knicks fan, has been his entire life and, growing up and whatnot. He texts me, he goes, we got to just win this damn thing tonight, man. It was one of, and winning last night, and again, I'm a very fringe Knicks fan growing up as a kid, but even I felt the relief last night of it because I know what's at stake. And for me, in sports these days, I need something, if it's basketball, something ancillary to get me to the table. Knicks and Celtics brings you to the table, man. It really does. And that's just not a New York thing or a Boston thing. That's a national thing. It's one of the great rivalries, if not the greatest rivalry in sports, is that New York-Boston rivalry. And so you're going to watch for the theatrics that are going to take place. And, the basketball is going to be secondary, right? I think it's going to be great. And as you mentioned, Mac, the first time since 84 when Lionel Richie was dancing on the ceiling that these two teams are playing after the first round.
That's crazy.
Patrick Ewing was not, I don't think, on that team.
Probably not. 84, yeah.
Yeah. So, Patrick Ewing's Knicks never played. The Celtics weren't always
that
bad
good.
In the
90s.
Yeah, when the Knicks were good, the Celtics were down. When the Celtics were good, the Knicks were down. But you're talking about a Knicks franchise that hasn't won since 71, I think, is the time they won a national champion or an NBA champion.
Title, yeah.
So it's been a long time. I think this series is going to be great. Even though the Knicks were, slobber knocked in that series against the Celtics all season long, this is the playoffs now. This is something different, man. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be compelling. Celtics in 4.
So your Knicks team in 84, Bernard King, Bill Cartwright,
Cartwright 4?
Rory Sparrow.
Who?
No, I don't know that one.
These are heard of him. Rory Sparrow, Truck Robinson.
Yeah, Truck.
Yeah. Ray Williams, Trent Tucker.
I know Trent Tucker.
Lewis Orr.
Lou Orr, yeah. Lou!
Merriam-Webster.
He was the dictionary. Yeah, they called him the wordsmith.
Yep. And then Darrell Walker.
Wow, that was the 84 Knicks. I don't know hardly any of those.
three
The
of
only
those guys.
reason I know Trent Tucker because he played for the Cavs, I think, when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was your 1983-1984 New York Knicks roster and stats. They went 47-35, finished third in the NBA Atlantic Division. Hubie Brown was their coach.
No kidding. Wow.
Hubie.
Who was on the Celtics roster that year? I mean, obviously
84 it would have been, Larry, Kevin.
84, your Celtics
Dennis
roster
Johnson.
was Danny Ainge, Larry Bird, Quentin Buckner, ML Carr, Carlos Clark, Geraldo Henderson, Dennis Johnson.
Good Lord.
Greg Kite.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Greg Kite was coming off the bench for them.
Guess Cowens was gone.
Kevin
probably.
McHale, Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
Hello. Basically, Team USA.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, that roster right there. Were
That was
people
awesome.
complaining back then about the Celtics,
They went 62-20. KC Jones.
How'd they lose 20 games? They got bored.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they won
Casey
it.
Jones. Yep. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Won the NBA Eastern Conference Finals 4-1.
Casey Jones was named after a Grateful Dead song.
You better watch your speed. They points per game, they averaged 112.1.
Damn.
In 1984. Yeah. Crap. They just invented the three-point line.
Was the three-point line even in 1984?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure. I could.
Was the shot clock in 1984?
The three-point was.
It was.
Because as a team, they shot, let's see, where's it at? Three-point percentage. They shot 24% from three-point range. Now the Celtics shoot like 41% from three-point range.
What did they shoot back then?
22%.
Yeah, abysmal.
From the three.
And
now they had one guy that did it.
Yeah, exactly. Bird.
So
that was in his three MVPs in a row. That was 84.
84 was a good year for the Royals. 85 even better. 40 years ago this season. You hear all the segues and commercials. I think they're kind of fun when I'm driving my car and you hear like Ryan Lefevre. It was July 5th. The Royals were playing the Tigers and Ben Zobrist came to the plate or whatever it is. Like,
they were talking about Kyle Snyder's debut yesterday afternoon, who's now the pitching coach. And I'm like, I remember that game, like, because I was covering the Royals in 2003, and he was one of he's going to save everybody, right? One of them type of deals like we saw from every pitcher back then. And I remember that debut. I was excited for that Kyle Snyder debut. If I'm not mistaken, that Kyle Snyder debut, they said May 1st, 2003. If I'm not mistaken, that was the same series that Eduardo Villasís pitched at Yankee Stadium.
No, Feces is what you talked about in Richard of the Week.
Oh.
So we talk about how the Royals have been fantastic over the last 10 games. 9-1. They lose 6 in a row. They go on to win 9 of their next 10. They now have the 4th best record in the AL. Also, so do those Athletics. Also with 17 wins. But you say...
Which town are they in?
Unnamed. Sacramento. You say keep beating the bad teams.
That's right.
You boys, and myself included, thought the Royals' offense was bad. The O's are averaging 4 runs a game, slightly ahead of the Royals, who are averaging about 3.8. Their hits, they rank 27th. Their average, they rank 27th. On base percentage, the Orioles also rank 25th. And OPS, they rank 21st. But wait, there's more. Their pitching is the worst in baseball. Runs allowed.
Well, they're counting that one dude who gave up 18 home runs.
I'm just reading the stats.
What's his name? Scott Weaver?
No.
Dream Weaver? Ed Weaver?
I think it's Kyle Gibson. I don't know.
Oh, Kyle Gibson. Yes, it is, yeah.
Runs allowed, they're 28th. Hits allowed, 29th. Batting average allowed, 29th. The teams are hitting 289 against Baltimore.
Yeah, that's not good.
ERA, 29th. WHIP, 29th.
What'd you say about VIP?
Yeah, not 29. Ks per 9, 26th. Home runs allowed, 25th. They are a very, very, very struggling franchise, and you are not currently. I think the Royals need to go in there and win 2 out of 3, not 1 out of 3. I'm not calling for a sweep, but you got to go in there with Waka, Bubic, and Lorenzen and take advantage of this team that is absolutely shocked this year because they were a playoff team last year. I am on record. I did not forget to say I think they are one of the top 3 teams in baseball this year. They are not. Whereas the Royals' hitting woes have kind of like not been as drastically bad. They could still use a little bit more of a jolt in that lineup. Their pitching has been there. So where the Royals are completely polar opposites, the Baltimore Orioles are literally the non-polar opposite. They are one of the worst statistical teams in baseball, and the Royals need to take advantage of that.
So you had said the other day something about Brady Singer like 4-0 or whatever, and I said to you, yeah, so what? The Royals would be the exact same team whether they had Brady Singer or not. They may even be a worse team. I don't know, but I'm not really concerned about what Brady Singer does and how he lives his career outside of Kansas City. But Baltimore, man, they may be feeling the effects of not having Corbin Burnes on their team, and how good he was. He had a sub-3 ERA last year for these guys in that 1 year, right? That was a big acquisition for them. They went out and got Corbin Burnes that offseason for that 1 year. They put all their chips in the basket. Obviously, the Royals knocked him out of the playoffs right away, and it was over, and Corbin Burnes was on his way to Arizona this offseason. You take an arm like that out of the rotation, that's got to be a deflating, move for the rest of the people in that organization, because now whoever was your 2 last year, he's now supposed to be your 1, and you're bumping everybody up, and then you get Kyle Wright coming out of the bullpen, giving up 18 home runs to the Yankees in 1 inning, and all of a sudden you're sitting there going, damn, that Corbin Burnes loss is going to be big. They didn't backfill. The Royals were able and had the ability to trade Brady Singer, get a leadoff hitter, get a left fielder, third baseman, wherever you want to play India, and move on from a guy, and they haven't missed a beat. The Orioles got rid of their guy, and Corbin Burnes let him go for free agency, and man, that pitching staff's in a bad way right now. That was your anchor right there.
No doubt about it. And, we go back and look, and, I'll give the Royals stats, too, when it comes to hitting, because they turned it around a little bit more so. Now 17 and 15, your Kansas City Royals. They're hitting, right, runs, they're actually 3.3, 28th, hits 22nd, average 22nd, on-base percentage 25th, slugging still 29th, OPS 28th, home runs they're dead last, and stolen bases they're 12th. But they're pitching, hits allowed 7th, runs allowed 3rd, batting average against 6th. A bad hitting team is going up against a pitching team who's allowing a batting average of 226. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear it that, they're just beating up on bad teams. So what do you want them to do?
Lose,
right? Like, what's the outcome that would get you to have the opposite take? Like, well, they swept the Rockies. They should have.
Yeah,
they did exactly what they're supposed to do. I'm sorry if my test is easy in my class. I'm supposed to get an A. What's it show if I don't get an A? Well, You got a B-. You should have got an A. Okay. Well, we swept the Rockies. We took 2 out of 3 from Houston, who's a good team. They took 3 out of 3 from Tampa on the road. Minor park or not. I don't care what, not minor park, but a minor league ballpark or not. You won 3 out of 3. You know how hard it is to sweep anybody?
Anybody. It's a hard thing to do.
Especially Tampa, who was 500 going into that series. Mm-hmm. Baltimore is a team that you could essentially, in May, bury them and leave them out of contention to where all you've got to worry about now.
What are they, 6 under? You said 500, right?
Yeah.
6 games under 500. You sweep the series. Baltimore's 9 games under 500, and it's not Cinco de Mayo yet.
Yeah, because right now, if you want to think about it, obviously Detroit and Cleveland are your competitors. You're 3 games out of first place in your division. Detroit's 20 and 12, Cleveland 18 and 13. You're 17 and 15. The Baltimore Orioles are 12 and 18. They're still only 5 games out of the AL East because the Yankees are 18 and 13. They're not really necessarily running away with the division. But you look at the Royals and their competition now. Nowhere is Baltimore in this discussion. The only teams above you in the wild card race right now, as of May, way too early. But again, these are the teams above you that you can keep an eye on moving forward. Athletics, Astros, Guardians. I'm sorry, did I mention the Astros, who the Royals won 2 out of 3, but they beat up on bad teams? That's not a true narrative.
I guess I just don't understand why, and I've been doing this now for a very long time. I shouldn't have to ask myself these questions, but why does it matter who they beat? Why do fans get concerned with that? Oh, they're not playing. This isn't college, okay? We have a very, very, very sick way of combining sports and angles from different sports that don't apply to the sport we're talking about because it works somewhere else. Strength of schedule matters in college basketball. That's it. It doesn't matter anywhere else. And it may be a little bit now in college football if you're going to do some seeding based on that. Strength of schedule does not matter in Major League Baseball or in the NFL because, I don't know, we keep records, we keep standings, and everything's determined by how many games you win versus how many games you lose. And if you have the opportunity to have teams on your schedule that aren't playing good baseball, well, then you need to take advantage of that. And that's what the Royals are doing right now. Just like teams took advantage of them when they weren't playing their best baseball. They went 2-8 on that 10-game road swing. So if you're going to be a fan of a team and they're doing good things, why are you looking for the negative? Why are you trying to bring up the negative side of things? I know it's easier to do, and it's more street cred maybe on X with the other vocal minority folks out there that are trying to, get street cred and make friends. But to me, it's all about, let's celebrate the positive here, man. We're living in a good time right now with sports. We got a football team that's just indestructible at the moment. We've got a baseball team led by arguably the best player in the game at this point in time, and they're above 500 after the first month of the season. And people are saying, well, I don't care who the hell they're beating. They're winning the games that they're supposed to be winning, and as they move along the season, they'll start to win some games that they're not supposed to be winning. Why are we caught up in that? They're not beating good teams. I don't care who they beat. As long as at the end of the day, they have more runs than the opposition, that's the only stat that matters. That's the only thing that matters. And as a fan, that should be the only thing that matters to you. Don't borrow trouble if they're not beating good. Who the hell cares who they're beating? They're beating Major League Baseball teams.
Yeah, we've got some heroes on the text line from the 816. Complaining has just become the norm. And I'll admit, it gets me from time to time.
It does, because it's easy to do. You get sucked into that negative.
No doubt. Somebody from the 816 says the Royals get the least amount of benefit of the doubt than any team in the area. It's crazy.
And when are you going to start giving them the benefit of the doubt?
Because we kind of get this a little bit with the Chiefs, don't we? Like if the Chiefs' first month of the season, hypothetically, is the Chargers, the Jags, the Titans, and
Giants.
Yeah, right? Whoever. Those are your first 4 games. And the Chiefs go 4-0. I promise you, there will be stories on sports shows that'll say, yeah, we haven't beaten anybody yet.
Doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
We don't judge professional sports by who you played. Stop acting like that matters. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you play. You're playing another professional team. They're paid to kick your ass as well. They're putting in the work. You got the better of them. You win a game in the NFL. You win a game in Major League Baseball. That is a big deal. Celebrate that and get on to the next one.
Yeah, and then somebody says, I guess I just don't understand why people say these teams are bad. Rockies, sure, get it.
Yes.
Both Stros and Rays had won 5 of 6 prior to playing the Royals.
Yeah, people are caught up in the Rockies, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
People saw the Rockies. They know they've only won 5 games out of their first 30. Oh, my God, the Rockies are terrible. The Royals took care of business, and then they have amnesia.
I just block it out, and I think it's fun because, hey, you're thinking about us, We're that ex that got away. You didn't delete all the pictures off your phone. You're still looking at what might have been, or as the one great Toby Keith once said, how do you like me now? Oh, the Royals, they've been a terrible franchise except for 3 years. Well, this is now back-to-back years, just like 14 and 15 was. And that's what, 4 good years and 10 years in baseball? How many people outside of the, juggernauts can say that? Not Atlanta. Well, maybe Atlanta. But not like, Detroit. I mean, there's teams out there that don't have every year's a good year. Ask Cardinal fans how they're feeling. Right? They're supposed to be good every single year.
And eventually the Chiefs are going to have a down year.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I don't want to say it, but it's reality.
I know.
Eventually the Chiefs are not going to win every Super Bowl they play. But they've still gone to 5 and won 3 with this regime. That's a winning record?
Yeah. I mean,
but they get blown out.
The older I get, the less I care about your negative opinions on things. I really don't. I mean, that's where I am in life right now. I'm past the halfway point, most likely in my life. I want the rest of it to be enjoyable. I don't want to. I don't want to get caught up in people who are mad at a baseball team that's winning games. Like you guys suck.
Yeah.
I
think this is also like prisoner of the moment of where we're at, like technology wise. Like it used to just be like you could open up the newspaper and be like, this team sucks, and nobody heard what you had to say.
Right.
Then Facebook came along, and you could make statuses.
Right.
Then Twitter became popular.
Yep.
Then Instagram and all that sort of stuff became popular, and you could start putting clips up and showing bad stuff and being like, you could make stats more and more visually evident. And I think that is true with what the text said. I think a lot of people use sports as a place to vent. Imagine if we did that about life. You would hate everything. Like, it'd be like, traffic, laundry, dishes. But what about the good times in life? Why don't you talk about those?
That's what I don't understand. Like, why don't you get down for your status update or your tweets? And look, we're all guilty of it because the negative, for whatever reason, sells, right? But like, why can't you sit down and go, man, I just had a great day today. It was because people get mad. Look at you bragging out there trying to get social media cred. Like, you can't win. You just can't. You just can't. So I just choose to try to ignore it. It's why I don't have the text line up, and kind of why I don't want to get on Twitter during games if the Royals are down 1-0. Oh my God! Or it used to be with the Chiefs. Chiefs would be down at halftime. Oh my, this team sucks. Fire. Oh God! There's 13 seconds left. We're gonna win this thing.
There's 20 minutes left of this show, and we'll get to our can of corn on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/value and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value for 60% off. legacybox.com/value.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner, right here in Kansas City. With $215 billion in business loans and over 3,700 business specialists across the nation, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Start your new chapter with a bang. Whether you're celebrating your upcoming graduation or getting hitched, Centerfire has a shooting experience for you. We're the only 5-star indoor shooting range in KC, and our staff will make your shooting experience one to remember. We have a bachelor party and a full auto experience that'll get your blood pumping. From new shooters to seasoned vets, Our professional staff will create a one-of-a-kind experience for you. Visit centerfireshootingsports.com to book online or come in and try one on today.
Diving right back into it on a Friday. Bob already took off.
Yeah, he said, see you, man.
He's gone. He's like, too much negativity in the game. Yeah.
And got
Royals and Orioles tonight in Camden Yards. There's a warehouse once hit by Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was so cool at one point in my life, I was wearing a backwards hat. Royals down 2-1. Here's Ibanez.
That was not Denny Matthews. That was Denny Likens. Mac Morey, Pod Fescoe and Dusty Likens with you on a Friday. Really excited about the weekend. Can't wait.
Yeah, dude, going to see Cags.
Going to go there tomorrow night with Cody, Gold, and Drew, and like 200-plus people. Getting excited to go to Springfield. Haven't been in Springfield in probably 15 years.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been there.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
That's what I've heard on the text line.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Gonna go, sip some suds with some buds out at the bars before the game, then go to the game. Gonna sit behind the third base bag because they're the visitors, so Cags will be over there.
Nice.
If he doesn't do anything productive, I cannot be to blame because I'm going with the good luck charms in Cody and Gold.
That's true.
Right? They go to the Super Bowl, they win. They do this, they win.
Everything they do touches gold. Yep.
Touches what?
Everything they touch is gold. Thank you.
No doubt about it. So it will be interesting because I've never been to a minor league baseball game.
Oh, so much fun, man.
Yeah, so I've never gone.
That'll be fun. That'll be cool.
I'm really excited about that. Plus, I think we're doing this at the right time.
Yeah.
Because I do think AAA is right around the corner
It's
for
calling.
Caglione.
It's happening.
And then there's some notable stuff here with the hit streak that we talked about with Bobby Witt Jr. So Bobby Witt Jr. has a 22-game hit streak currently in baseball, right? And for the Kansas City Royals, Bobby Witt Jr., 22-game hit streak. If Bobby Witt Jr. gets a hit in all 3 games against Baltimore, he will then tie George Brett and Mike Sweeney for the 4th longest hitting streak in Royals franchise history. Woo. They both had 25-game hitting streaks. This is from Royal Muse on Twitter. Great follow if you want to go follow those guys. The longest in the history of the Royals is Whit Merrifield at 31, followed by George Brett with 30. So George Brett had a 30-game hit streak and a 25-game hit streak, and still someone was like, nah, I'll learn my own way.
Yeah, right. MJ Melendez is like, yeah, sit down, Grandpa.
And then here's the surprising one. Do you want to take a guess who has the 3rd longest hitting streak in Royals franchise history?
Don't tell me because I think I'm going to know. I'm going to say Carlos Beltran.
It is not.
Die.
I'll give you one more.
Damon.
Jose Offerman.
Oh, my God.
27-game hit streak. Had no idea.
That's like who has the most home runs in Royals history, Steve Balboni type thing, right? Yeah, like you never would have guessed Jose Offerman.
Here comes the text line. It's Sal and Soler and Moose.
We know. Thank you.
Yeah. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Just calm down. We know. But for 1,000 years, it was Steve Balboni at 36 or 38, whatever it was, right? And that was your Jose Offerman. I remember watching him in college. God.
Let me ask you this. Let's say Baltimore wins 2 out of 3, but Bobby Witt Jr. extends his hit streak throughout the series. How do you feel?
I want wins. Okay. I don't care about the history.
I think Bobby would say the same thing.
Yeah,
too,
I know
great.
He would. Yeah, but that's where I am. If you lose, but he gets hits, you're like, nah. I need the team to win games, right? I need the team to keep stacking wins because, again, you're facing the Baltimore Orioles, and right now they're not playing good baseball. So you don't want to go in there and waste that opportunity. You've got a great opportunity ahead of you to go out there and take care of business, win some games, lose teams, keep them losing, and feel good about coming back because when you roll back into town, you got the Chicago White Sox on the docket, right? That's a time you can get happy and fat as well and go out there and what is they got 4 against the White Sox, I think, coming up over the next, homestand. Go out there and take care of business against the White Sox, man. Like, go sweep them. Go take 3 in Baltimore, take 4 against the White Sox. Now, all of a sudden, you've won 10 in a row.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting because when Carrington had a topic, which he does this quite often, if you listen to the drive, he'll say, I'll give you one scenario versus another one. And the one he had this year with the Super Bowl, because I asked my buddy this last night, he answered quickly, and I was surprised. And his question was last year, I'll give you Mahomes and the Chiefs win a 3-peat this year, but Mahomes never wins a title, or Mahomes wins 3 more Super Bowls in his career. Which one would you take?
I would take the 3 more in his career.
Me too.
Okay. That was about the same timing that my buddy Brian said
and so that would have given him 6 total, right? He would not have passed Tom Brady.
Brady's got 7.
Right. And that's why it's a good scenario because you're like, all right, you're still second to Tom. obviously, but you could have done something that Tom never did and win that three-peat. I want both.
Yeah,
like the right answer,
both.
it's
Yes.
both, like that is the right answer. But, you start to think about that, with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. If they never win, I've asked you guys this, if they never win another one, what would your feeling be about this run? And most people would say unfulfilled because of where we are right now. You've sat down to this great meal. You've had an unbelievable appetizer. First course was fantastic. Oh, my God, look at that salad. And then the meal comes out, and it's like a Salisbury steak that's overcooked and has no gravy. And you're like, ugh.
No more water
stinks.
steaks.
Yeah, but that's kind of where, you are with the Chiefs. We've been served such a great beginning to all of this. You don't want to ruin it at the end. And so I think there are people that are probably nervous about that. But look, if they never win another Super Bowl again, we got our money's worth. We really did.
Because I said the three-peat. Because I look at it as like, even if you get the other three, you're never passing Brady, which means society would be like, well, he's not the GOAT, which is fine, whatever. But he would have done something that I don't think anyone will ever do,
right?
Nor would they ever do again. And you have history, and you can't erase that. Like, you'd be like, he won 4 titles, and on the route of winning those 4, he won 3 in a row. And that's kind of like,
see, that would have to me vaulted him over Tom Brady. But I don't want this period to end. And so if you could extend it out where they're still winning multiple Super Bowls in the next 5 to 7 years, I'm not ready to even see this thing start to dissipate in Arrowhead.
No,
right?
please, no.
So I ask you this question. Would you rather see the Royals get to the World Series and lose, or Bobby Witt Jr. break DiMaggio's hitting streak?
Get to the World Series and lose.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you lose.
So you're still at the World Series. Yeah. Nobody remembers the other stuff. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was cool. He broke that. But everybody celebrates a winner. More people will be paying attention, obviously, and participating in the Royals if they're in the World Series. Yeah, I'll never take an individual success over a team success. And I think Bobby would say that too.
Which would give him more publicity? Would it be
the
him
hit
making the World
streak
Series, or would
probably
it be?
would.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the hit streak would, because that's a national thing. They don't care about the Royals' success.
Yeah.
His at-bats would be on every single channel of every major
I
channel.
remember growing up and watching McGuire and Sosa on ESPN, Mac.
No, he doesn't. But he remembers when Aaron Judge was going for 60.
Yeah.
And it was like during live television conferences or whatever it was.
Yep.
It'd be like, here's Aaron Judge going up to bat to set the Major League or AL record of home runs.
Yeah.
So I play this other side. I think that Bobby will have multiple opportunities if the franchise does what they've shown they're going to do with Sherman and all those guys. He'll have an opportunity to break, or not break, but to win a World Series.
But there's never a guarantee. And if you have the opportunity, like with the Chiefs losing the Super Bowl, you'd like to say, okay, next year they'll be back. There's no guarantees. You don't know what's going to happen. And so that's why when you get to that level, you want to win it. Like last year, going to the playoffs was nice, very unfulfilling, right?
Yeah.
For both the Chiefs and the Royals, quite frankly. But if you're the Royals and you have an opportunity to play and lose a World Series, or Bobby breaks Joe DiMaggio's record, I would guess 99 out of 100 would say, give me to the World Series and lose. I don't care, because we all remember what it was like being in the World Series and how awesome that was. The individual stuffs are great when you're not winning. If you're winning, though, it's all about the team for me.
All right. Something that you have this weekend that's a can of corn.
I think for me, it's probably going to be just kind of hanging out at my niece's graduation party. She has Down syndrome, and so she's graduating high school this year, and we're all really, really excited and proud of her.
That's cool.
And just to let her know, Lexi, I love you, man. I'm so proud of you, and watching you grow up and do your thing, and now you get to graduate high school. It's pretty awesome to see you reach this point of your life, and I can't wait to see what's next for her. So my niece, Lexi, love you, kiddo, and congratulations on your graduation. It's going to be fun.
It's like the great Rex Hudler said, there's nothing down about it. They should call it up syndrome.
Up syndrome, yeah. It
Love
is,
that.
yeah.
Rex's kid's awesome.
He's the best. I think him and Lexi are pretty close friends and whatnot. Yeah.
I went to a golf tournament. It was awesome. And Rex's son, Speck, was there. We were playing, and it was like a Royals tournament at Iron Horse. And we were out there playing, and Rex's son was going to give like a speech. And he just started singing the national anthem.
That's fantastic.
So great,
I love it. Yes,
and like Rex is like a proud father, and all this, and like Specker sitting there. Then he just starts going on a rant. He's like, and by the way, there will be this, and like finally, like Jennifer's like, all right.
We got it.
I was like, yes, dude.
Well, Lexi
That's
did
awesome,
that
man.
at my mother-in-law's birthday dinner the other day. She got up and just started tapping the glass. I have a speech, and I looked at her parents like, did you expect this? They said no. And so she gave a speech, started crying about how much she loves her grandma.
That's
It was awesome, man. I'm so excited excited to see her graduate high school. It's gonna be
that's
fun.
cool.
Matt, go ahead and try to top that.
I know, seriously, that's so heartwarming. I'm sitting here tearing up, man. That's so exciting. Way to go, Lexi. Yeah, man, just hanging out. Gonna like you a couple weeks ago when you were like nothing, Bob. That's kind of me this weekend.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Trying to keep the slate clean.
Out of mind, out of sight.
Yep, little to no plans. Gonna hang at the house, watch sports, mow my mom's lawn. That's about it.
Better get that in now. Looks like it's getting cloudy.
I know. I
out
didn't
here.
expect it to be this
That
bad.
Toganoxie split's real.
Yeah.
Check out the radar. It's insane.
Damn.
That
Hey,
Toganoxie
Ralph,
split,
how's it doing out there?
Split. Mine is very interesting. So Gold and I are going to be roommates for Saturday, and he's going to ride down with me in the Buick. I'm introducing Alex Gold to Bruce Springsteen.
All righty.
He's never heard Bruce Springsteen before?
He's heard like Dancing in the Dark and Hungry Heart.
It'd be like what I've heard,
Well,
like
he
the main
hadn't-
stuff.
He hadn't heard The Rising.
You better play that whole album for him.
I could.
You should.
But I'm going to give him some deep cuts of Bruce, give him some other ones that maybe he's heard, and then maybe if he wants it, a little education on the boss.
Yeah,
He probably won't.
Because I don't want him to be like, can you
You
just
don't
put
think
on?
he will?
Because if he doesn't, I'm going to play the podcast at Theo Vaughn and Ben Affleck. So I'm dying to listen to that.
No, there's no chance Alex cares about that kind of stuff. He
damn,
got that
that'd be
Caitlin
cool.
Clark gold card. He's like, I don't need this.
That's true. He's thinking about the gold card.
He can now pay off his credit card bills. Congratulations, Alex.
He's like, yeah, the boss, sure.
From 816, hey, Dusty, how many girls are you going to pick up in Springfield? Probably none. Probably none. Not if they see if I look like I did at Sneaky Pete's. They're like, that guy needs to go home. That guy needs to be.
Alex, walk him home. Be careful.
Yeah. How many songs does Cody Tapp sing in a karaoke bar this
We
weekend?
don't know. You won't be there.
That's true. That's true.
That's where we go our separate ways.
No doubt. This is where we go our separate ways until Monday. But don't forget, go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, week, month, or year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind, stay groovy. Coming up next, it's Cody, Logan, and Drew from 10 to 2 on 96.5 The Fan. You're home with Kansas City Sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.